Welcome, everybody, to Giant Bomb Game of the Year 2022. I am your host, Jan Ochoa, and golly gee, what a year it has been. That's right, Game of the Year. We're actually doing it in the proper year. That's right, folks. But I'm not alone. You see me sitting here in the producer chair, but I'm never alone because I have possibly the best, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, don't call HR, the most attractive team physically, mentally, and spiritually with me. Folks, we around the table, we've done a lot of moving. We've had to move some stuff around. Plans change, as they say in the tech world, because we're all in the tech world. You gotta constantly pivot and stuff, and we're pivoting. So we decided to just pivot and pivot and pivot all the way and just have ourselves a little pivot palooza. And right here with me, folks, we've got around the table, we've got who is this? That's a picture of Lucy James. We have Lucy James. We have Jason A. Stryker.
Yo.
We have Timur Hussein.
Hello.
Dancing on the table, Dan Reichert.
That's me. Hello.
Looking real funky, sir. Looking
funky mode.
Looking real good. Jeff Jeff Grubb is here.
I love this dancing monkey.
All right. Jeff Bakalar is also here.
Hello.
And then we also got Jess O'Brien, the architect.
Yeah, baby.
The architect of all of this. And we've got a couple categories today. We've got about 3 days of Game of the Year deliberations and talk going on. And we're going to start. Y'all ready to start? You want to say some stuff, get some stuff off your chest before we get going?
I want this ape's crotch out of my face. That's what I want more than anything in the world right now.
I can see Sonic looking straight up at me, and it's awful.
I just want okay. There it goes.
Right, okay.
I just want people to know that I can do this at any point, and you should be afraid because I will.
Yes, I'm terrified.
He's prepped to do it. So if anybody is lissing audio only, you are missing some visual bits in case you cannot tell. Everybody
He's
is
a dabbing JoJo. He's a dabbing JoJo, everyone.
That's
and we already told you it's not a JoJo. Jeff's a JoJo.
Not JoJo. I'm JoJo, you
straight through my
asshole.
brain.
Come on.
I would like to.
You're
I would like
JoJo?
to. I would like to go.
Yeah, use the actual JoJo.
I would like to go
The real
around the
one.
table so everybody can just, in your mind's eye, audio only listener, so you just know who's who. I'm Gex, the gecko, beloved mascot of the 90s.
Jeff Bakalar. Who are you, sir?
I'm Jotaro from Stardust Crusaders. Hello. Pleasure
Thanks
to
for
be here. I'm a
pronouncing
nice
it
boy.
better.
Okay, Jeff
than the
Grubb. You
I'm
are
Hollywood business executive Sonic the Hedgehog. I
Right.
got a back room here. Don't worry about it.
you've gone full Hollywood, is what it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
You
due
guys
to
are
the
chomping on a
success.
cigar.
Finally.
too, don't
Yeah.
you?
Dan Reichert, sir, you are,
Funky Kong.
of course,
Proper Funky Kong.
you're just sticking your arms through the table. You're ready to deliberate right here.
Oh,
Table
Funky's
can't
always
contain
ready.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funky can't do a hand check.
Tam,
I am Konoha's green beast, living in the springtime of youth. Rock Lee.
fantastic.
Why are you
What?
facing the wall?
He
No,
looks
just for
normal
you.
me.
Don't worry about it.
No, he's good
not-
for me, too. He's Blair Witching here.
Yeah, but not for Jan, which is what all that matters.
Okay.
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe. Kayfabe's the new waveform. Jason A. Stryker, sir, you're looking real grizzly today. You are.
Kuma, I'm a bear. Rawr.
Oh, nice.
And Lucy
I like that you followed it up with "I'm a bear" after
I'm a
saying
bear.
Kuma.
Lucy James, you are.
I'm Dr. Kawashima, and I'm here to test all your brains.
There we go.
Just your
Train
forehead
your
sticking up over the
brains.
table.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm,
just your forehead and a coffee cup.
Can we just say disgrace Dr. Kawashima? I don't know if he is.
Did he go to jail this year too? Or
I don't know, probably.
Was that
No.
training again?
Yeah, it turns out he was not brain training.
Yeah, it turns out
no.
all that brain train stuff was
He
just
was-
a lie, but
He was
no.
doing some experiments.
And we have a framed picture of Lucy James because we were having some connectivity issues.
Yes.
And
But
then
we fixed it.
we fixed
did
it.
just in time.
And
I'd
then
like to point out that if you go underneath the table, this table has a free space underneath. You can see Dr. Kawashima's horrific little mouth.
oh boy, yeah, I
Ew.
can,
Table.
I
Yeah.
can see it.
Oh, you can
It's really
click through
weird.
it. Oh, God.
Oh boy,
Ew.
mouth
Yeah.
check, mouth check.
Oh, no. Don't look at
Wait,
Funky
wait.
Kong. Don't look at Funky Kong.
Suck it
Don't
up,
look at Funky
all of
Kong.
And then
Dr.
I,
Kawashima is just inhaling every fart
Yeah.
underneath that.
Oh, yeah. I'm
He's just
huffing
down there huffing it.
Yeah.
Huffing it.
and then I am the Green Ranger for today. And also, there is a fake Jan in the universe. As let's look at him. He's a little Lakitu. I'm gonna be an extra cameraman roaming around here. Pay no attention if the Lakitu is all up in your business, please.
Also to note, I see someone saying, looks like the game stream isn't going to the YouTube feed. That's because if you want to just watch our faces, you can watch on YouTube. If you want the Tower Unite craziness, we're on Twitch and the site. And also for you audio listeners, we will be making sure not to do too many visual bits.
Yeah, we're going to try
so
to
you can just
keep a lid on it as best we can.
Yeah.
However you want to
will
take it
pain
in,
us.
take it in.
But also, physical rules apply. If you do have to use the restroom, please leave the room. You don't need to mention it. Okay, Dan's already going.
No, Dan, don't open it.
No, it's
No, we
Dan,
can't
no.
open.
Okay.
We're going to.
Okay.
We wanted to go
It's a
full
void out
Funky can
there.
hold it. Funky can
You'll
hold it.
fall. You'll just keep falling.
We wanted to go full immersion. So it's been a while since we podcasted from this room. We're going to podcast from this room. Dang it!
yeah.
All
Yes, we
right.
are.
All right.
For
We
you
should
audio
also-
listeners, we are in the old Bombcast studio.
Thank you, Jess.
Yeah.
We're going to get used to
Just
that, but thank
lovingly
you so far.
recreated.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
shout out to Jess because
A
this
room
is
I've never been in.
Yes.
It's perfect.
We
Also,
took the
Damn it.
table out of the trash.
before we kick off, we should also give a shout out to the developer. We are doing this in a game called Tower Unite,
Yes.
which is available on Steam. We want to give a shout out to the developers behind Tower Unite, who helped us out with getting the money necessary to build all this stuff, and also gave
in-game
us
money.
tips on how they
In-game
did
money.
in-game money, yeah, not real money. I mean,
That's something to distinguish.
I don't know. I'm buying a new car tomorrow, so I don't know what you guys are going.
Yeah.
I have an
Unit.
I
actual
bought this ice
jetpack.
cream cone, so full collusion.
So they helped us out with tips on how to get this all together as well, and were very welcoming to the idea. So we appreciate that.
If anybody
Yes.
wants to know how much this set cost,
Priceless.
I started with 2 million units. I've got 1,663,495. You might think that's pretty expensive for the Bombcast room. Well, no, I spared no expense
Yeah,
to
Yes.
make this
everything.
incredibly accurate room.
Look at the
So-
sound baffling. This sound, Jason, you can attest.
that.
This sound baffling was here, right? Dan,
Yeah,
you've been,
absolutely,
you were
yeah.
there.
Yeah, 100%.
Drew painstakingly
Indistinguishable.
put those up. Yeah, we hired Drew to come back and put up the baffling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of the money went toward that.
Yeah,
Just hiring
yeah.
Drew back.
When we asked him, he went like this.
There's actually more space than the actual Bombcast room.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
needed the character
Yeah.
avatars to be able to walk behind the chairs, so I made some
And
some
dab.
adjustments.
Yeah, but the producer desk on point.
Yeah.
All right, folks. I think it's about time we start with Game of the Year deliberations. We're not going to list all the categories. I'm just going to list the category, name off the category. Do we want to list off the nominees as we're going through?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. First category of the day is Soulja Boy Presents Best Game for People Who Drink Beer and Get Drunk or Smoke Weed and Get High.
Oh,
The-
question. Can I do the like world premiere voice and announce those? I
No,
got a little thing on my Go XLR that makes me echoey.
no.
Oh man. God, fine.
And put the foot down immediately.
Yes,
Fine.
exactly. Folks, as host of Game of the Year and the Giant Bombcast, I'm going to act as final arbiter. If someone gets a little too out of hand, I'm going to put the kibosh on you. And
Oh,
I
shit.
and
God.
you know, we
Yeah.
You'll
we just
never
gotta
take me alive, Ochoa.
I have Jess's Steam login info. I will log in and kick everyone out. All right. First nominee is Sonic Frontiers, Vampire Survivors, Power Wash Simulator, Fortnite, Marvel Snap, Stray, Point B, Goat Simulator 3, Splatoon 3, Metal Hellsinger, Rift Tracks, The Game, Trombone Champ, and Spider-Heck. Does anyone have any last-minute additions to this list?
Ooh, Tower Unite.
Well,
It did, and it came out in 2019, I think.
Hey, wait. Should we talk? Like, what are the odds that a game from a different year can end up on any of these categories? Like, released in a different year but got significant updates.
We can
Do we
bring it
wanna
up to the
allow
group
that?
and we can put it to a
Well,
vote. if
I mean,
need be.
that's
Okay,
why
I think that's
Fortnite
fair.
is in here, right? Because
Yes,
Fortnite
exactly.
is-
we did the Unreal
yes.
5 thing.
okay,
Yeah, and I
that
think that
counts.
counts, right? That,
And
that-
zero
Yeah.
build and all that. I think Fortnite is eligible for everything, personally.
Yeah, you're looking on your laptop there, Dan.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Funky Kong's taking a look. Yeah, it looks great.
Fantastic, fantastic. Should we start cutting, or do we want to like bold stuff to keep it on?
What can what do
I
people
think
think this
cutting is
category
more
is?
fun.
Like what?
It's the best one for just like, hey, you got a Saturday night, it's 2 a.m, you've had the 10 to 12 beers, and you're having a good time with the game,
10
or
to
you've had
12
your marijuana
10 to
in
12.
illegal. I drink Bud Lights, Jeff.
All right.
Well,
Welcome
you've
to
had
this
some marijuana.
intervention, Dan Reichert.
Jess, bust out the
Donkey
real
Kong,
set.
thank you. Yeah.
Me, Gex the Gecko, is very worried about you.
Yes. Is Gex straight edge?
I don't
I mean,
know.
you drink Bud
Wait.
Light. That's basically straight edge.
My
I mean, let's be
God.
honest.
I feel like he. I
Sorry,
feel like he
beers.
is, but he would drink like fake martinis. You know,
Okay.
like virgin
Oh my God.
martinis.
Mocktinis.
I
Is
just
that what
got-
they call 'em?
I just got swallowed by Lakidu's giant ass.
It happens. It happens.
Lucky.
Man, God, I would pay so much for that.
God, I wish
yeah.
that were me.
I will say that if I am so like inebriated that I was drinking beers or partaking in the ganja, something that requires like a lot of mental fortitude and thought processes, I can't handle it. I
Right, you
can't
want to
do it.
zone out. You want to be
Just
able to
can't
zone
get
out.
it.
Bear
Zone out.
seriously talking about that. I don't know.
I
what-
think
That's why I would say like something like Power Wash Simulator, I think, is a real contender here.
Yeah.
Because you can
I
zone the
agree.
fuck out. There is no
Mm.
time limit. You're just cleaning stuff. You can listen to a podcast and just zone out. So I think
Yeah,
that's
it's therapeutic for sure.
Yeah, I
Yes.
feel like
Yeah.
cutting is the way to go because you can
Yeah.
very easily ain't nobody playing Sonic Frontiers or Splatoon 3 or Metal Hellsinger.
Wow.
Hi,
No,
come on,
I
man.
agree.
Sonic
Yeah,
Frontiers
I
is
don't
kind of my
think so.
go-to sometimes.
No, I agree. I feel like it's too much to pay attention to.
At the very least,
No.
Metal Hellsinger is if you're playing Metal Hellsinger while
You need
inebriated,
timing.
Yeah, I think
you
it's-
are insane.
Yes.
that's
Well,
what we're talking 'cause
then
we're
I'm
not
an
talking about like
insane
oh
person, Cam.
two beers
Wow.
and you're in the buzz zone and like you're feeling it. We are talking
beers.
like you are at the end of the
Drunk.
night and yes, you're
Yes.
you are
Yeah,
crunk
yeah.
and no longer really able to walk, let alone do much else. Okay,
So we taking off metal?
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
so.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
like you have a panic attack if you're high and play Metal Hellsinger.
That's too much. Yeah.
I would
I will-
go physically and mentally to hell if I played that. while
To
high.
defend Sonic Frontiers while drunk
Okay.
or high,
Oh,
it is
bloody
like
hell.
you don't have to think at all playing that game. You're just running around doing bullshit, seeing things and grinding on it and seeing where it goes. Something
grinding
sparkly
on it.
happens, then you're jumping on a robot. It's just like it does not nothing you do matters, and you can just run around real fast and do cool shit. Like,
Here's-
it's gonna
here's
go
my-
to go ahead.
Here's my problem with that. You got to play Sonic Frontiers in order to do that.
Yes, that is a
Alright.
fundamental
Amazing
issue with that
counterpoint.
game.
That is a
Amazing.
really
That is
good
a
point,
fundamental issue
Damn,
with that
Might
game.
be on my top 10.
I like that
well,
game.
that's fine, but like it's the group
I'm biased,
consensus
but-
here for what is like the most vibes game.
Yeah, vibes.
So
Okay.
I'll take the high road here, and I'll say, not only should you not play Marvel Snap while driving, you should also not play Marvel Snap while under the
Agreed.
influence.
I think we could probably
Agreed.
disagree
Yeah,
on that, but I mean,
agree.
Yeah. You don't want
It's too-
you don't
it's
want
too
reckless
much
snapping.
mental-
Do you have like a KDR you got to worry about or anything? Like, can you rank down or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
totally.
Oh,
You can make
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
worry.
you
So
could
there's
go on
kind
tilt
of-
real
you
easy.
You
gotta
want it
be
to be a
fucking
no
straight edge.
consequence game if you're drunk or high.
That's too much
Yeah.
strategy. Yeah.
I also feel like Trombone Champ, it becomes very frustrating very quickly. Like an
Wait,
annoying.
are we taking out Marvel Snap?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
Marvel
Dan.
Snap.
But Trombone Champ is also it's a game you perform, which I think is a pretty good thing for when you're drunk or high if you're
Yeah.
around other people, where it's like you are up there, and if you are frustrated, that's almost part of the fun for people who are watching you play Trombone Champ.
True.
If you are high and playing Trombone Champ, then it automatically gets much funnier.
Yeah, it is
Oh, and
funnier.
it's already a
Yeah.
very
Right.
funny
You
game.
might get the giggles.
Yes.
Point.
May I add though, you could get nervous playing Trombone Champ because of all the gyrations you got to go up and down.
Yeah.
It could
Performance
get you
anxiety.
performance anxiety, and also could cause motion sickness because
That's what I was going
movement.
for, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it cause motion sickness?
I could believe it because you're waving your head up and down. You get too into tromboning, then you start doing it yourself. You know,
Okay.
Let's leave Trombone Champ for now.
Okay,
Rift Track's the game. I put that one up there. I think that if you are at the crunk level that we're talking about for this category, Rift Track's the game would probably actually no longer be fun because you're probably coming up with jokes that you think are hilarious that no one else is going to think is
that's
funny.
the worst.
you want to have your
Yeah.
mental acumen when you're coming up with jokes. Okay.
Yeah.
We cut that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's cut that. It's a fun one when you're start drinking. It's not great when you've been drinking all night.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I also think
game. Okay.
Splatoon 3 requires too much accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I
Right.
get drunk or high and I'm thinking too much about just the concept of Splatoon, I would get spooked. So I think
What part of it?
just those
Squid
All the
Kids.
splatter.
the little freaks, you know.
Dan,
Yeah.
I
don't-
like them.
I thought about putting this in a later category, but have you played the story mode of Splatoon 3 at all?
No.
No,
It gets real
Yeah,
dark.
yeah.
It gets real dark.
Yeah,
It's
I
also
only-
a
I
little
only played-
difficult.
I only play Splatoon for the story.
Oh, of course.
Isn't it like
That was- that
apocalyptic,
was-
like the Eiffel Tower's upside down and stuff?
Oh, there's lots of stuff that's messed up. Like
Really?
maybe some
Yes.
interspecies. Let's just let's cut to Splatoon 3.
Well,
take
maybe
off.
this will be on the top of every
Three off.
category
Yeah,
then.
some-
That's fine.
Yeah, I know. I want to know more about Splatoon lore.
What was the next word going to be?
What is
Sonic's
point
over
P?
here very excited.
Oh God.
Tell me more about the interspecies.
Interspecies what?
What's the deal with the? I don't know what point P is. Someone tell me about that.
Oh, it's a phone game.
Netflix game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you play
Very good.
Downwell?
Yes.
It's Downwell,
Okay.
but upwards.
But up.
Oh.
And it's
You have, like,
very
rocket
fun and very
boats?
good.
And it's
Isn't
very
it-
fun.
well,
yeah.
Is that the one with all the fruit?
Yes, that is the one with the
Okay.
fruit.
I wouldn't
Gotcha.
play it when inebriated, though.
Yeah. Also, it's like it's in that
Yeah.
same vein as Vampire Survivors, and there's just no way that Vampire Survivors doesn't make this list for me because I do like the way I feel, even when I'm messed up playing Vampire
Yeah.
Survivors.
Any
I'm still
mental
Vampire
good.
state.
Survivors
It's
makes
good for
me
that.
feel drunk.
Yes.
So
Yeah, might as well be. Yes.
All right. So you think point P?
We could take
is
off
that
point
hanging?
P. I just
Take it off.
we could take it off. I just want to say that like I've gone in a state where I've scored super duper high because of being super duper, and I just unlocked the third eye. So
Oh.
it
maybe
happens.
sometimes,
Super duper interspecies? What? Huh?
yeah. Also in that game,
You trailed
turns
off
out.
there.
It also
I will
turns out.
say Fortnite, as much as I love it, and I have certainly played a lot of Fortnite in various states, it is definitely it's a battle royale tense kind of shooter at times. So even though it's kind of part of my routine, if I'm like 3 a.m. post stream, just trying to like calm down before bed, unless there's others that do that, I'd be fine with taking that off.
I feel like
Also, yes.
Fortnite is a bit much for me when I'm.
I also
Yeah.
think the social aspect of Fortnite and realizing these are all real people, I think that would freak me out if I was really,
Oh,
really
okay, that's
stoned.
fair. I think that's fair.
I was Marcus Phoenix this morning playing a saxophone solo, so it's still a really good game. I just
Shit.
That is
all
pretty
right.
cool.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty sick, yeah.
Who put down Spider Hack? Because I watched a trailer of
did.
this and it looks pretty fucking intense.
So it is pretty intense. I put it on here when I wasn't sure about the alcohol level and the highness level. It is
okay.
another one where it's good where you could dial it in a couple beers deep. But I would not be able because there's
Wait,
a lot
didn't
of
we play
physics.
it at Bombathon?
We did, yes.
Yes.
It's
I
like-
was,
yes.
I was drunk playing it. I was
How did
bad.
it make you feel?
Well,
I was drinking too, and
Vinny
I
You
was
was
better
very
say
good.
bad.
I was very bad. I've gotten a lot better at it, and I play it a lot with my kid.
who drinks
But he's
just
he's
not
never
Yeah.
sober, right?
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
drunk
just
when we're
knocking
playing
back yoo-hoos constantly.
Right.
Yeah, just going to town on
He's a
juicy
social
juice.
yoo-hoo drinker, right?
Exactly. Only. But he knows his limits. He knows his limits.
Right.
I think Spider Heck visually is very like satisfying in that
Totally. Yeah.
frame
It
of
looks great.
mind. I don't know if it's the best game for being drunk and or high.
Sure.
I think it's a fun one to throw on in the middle of a party like we did,
Yes.
similar to Nidhogg, and just see who picks up the controller. But it's not, it's probably not going to actually hang on this list.
So maybe more of a best
well-
party game type thing rather than a best.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not this. That's
Okay.
not this
I
category.
think
Got it.
Okay.
I
I
can
just
do
come
that.
up with
Backlog?
a late entry, which
What's
is
that?
worth
Oh, yeah, drop it.
considering. Hyper Demon.
Oh,
Nightmare mode. No.
Oh
No,
no!
sir.
Oh my
No, sir.
god.
What the fuck
Oh,
is wrong
yeah.
with you, Tam?
No,
I
That's where-
purposely
that's where
did
I
not
go.
put
That's
Hyper
where I
Demon on
go,
the
baby.
list.
Rocket
That's what
League
Master
would
I
play
refuse to
Hyper
have
Demon
that.
while
Oh,
drunk,
yeah.
though, so I get where you're going.
Mm-mm.
Bad trip.
I'm just in there all the time, just losing
hell
my
else came out this
damn
year?
mind.
Is Stray a game that you'd like to play under an inebriated state?
You could've
no,
just
I've
stopped after
tried.
like to
I
play.
didn't
I did it.
care for it.
I did it. I
Yeah.
didn't like playing it drunk.
I just didn't like playing it.
Yeah,
There
fair
you
There's
enough.
that too.
Fair enough.
Wait,
All
I'm going.
right.
I'm going through my. Wait, how do I just see my library on Steam? I'm like, what the hell else came out this year?
Any objections to cutting Stray?
Nah.
No,
Nope.
no, yeah.
No.
Bin it.
Bin it.
All right.
Let's see.
What about the Callisto Protocol?
It's not a great game.
Way
I'm
to
learning a
to
lot about you,
enjoy
Tam.
that game.
You do start playing that game, and then you are like, I need to be inebriated.
Wait,
I,
wait,
I need
I
it.
do have a legitimate suggestion in Cult of the Lamb.
Ooh.
It's very satisfying when you know you're doing all the management stuff, you're gathering stuff. It's also quite easy, you know. I feel
like the multitasking aspect might trip me up.
And there is
a
the
little
time
bit.
aspect too, where you want to get all this stuff done during the day, and I feel like I wonder if that stress of the time would get on me.
Dwarf Romantic. That's a very good high
That's
game.
a good high game. Yeah.
That's a
I like
good
that.
high game.
Yeah.
It came into 1.0 this year.
Do you want to explain what Dwarf Romantic is for people who might not be aware?
So it's just kind of like a little building game, but you just have a little tile, and then you just add more tiles to the side of things. So you build little forests. You try and build a little village, little rivers and stuff. So it's just very chill,
That's nice.
yeah.
I was
Dwarf
watching. I sat
is
next to Mike
romantic.
Mahardy on
Dwarf
an
is
airplane
romantic.
the other day, and he was playing it, and we were drinking wine, and it looked like a very chill, nice game to play. It made me
Oh, the
want to
tile
check that out.
thing?
Yeah, the
I
tile
love this Dan wine renaissance, by the way.
Yeah.
thing. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah,
If
we-
you can-
Yeah, he's a real connoisseur. Do you have red
Yeah.
wine? I'll take it.
Yes, that tastes like
I'm not gonna
wine.
ask for Chateau d'Armand or whatever Mike gets. You know, that's.
I'm gonna
I will say
just throw.
Punch Out's a great wine game because I beat all
Of
Punch
course.
Out without
Punch
dying
Out did
once.
not come out in 2022, though.
Yeah, it turns out.
Came out in our hearts in 2022.
Okay.
Hard Space Shipbreaker did come out in 2022 and in
What
1.0.
type of person are you that you're gonna put that on the list?
Because they added a mode which doesn't have a timer anymore, so it's like you can just break apart these ships very slowly now, and then it's very satisfying to just
That's kind of cool.
slowly take the piece, and you are toasted, and so you're like, which hole does it go in again? And then you just fire it off, and then it goes
age-old
like
question.
flopping over in space into a giant furnace, and you go, and then you go back and do it again, and then you accidentally cut the seal on the giant warp drive, and it explodes, and then you explode, and you go, and I don't know, that's pretty fun to me.
Hey, Grub, can you make Weed Sonic stop just staring a hole into me? Because it's really off-putting.
Okay, I'm gonna
Weed's
zoom in
got a
on
real
you now.
stare.
I want you to
It's-
know
it's
that I'm
awful.
sure it didn't look different, but I pressed Z to zoom in on you very closely.
Okay,
I'm looking at your
yeah, it's-
do-rag because you're facing away from me.
It's unsettling. Okay. What should we take off here? So we talked about Trombone Champ having some issues with it maybe, but also some things in its favor. What do you think about yay or nay on this one?
Well, how about we like try to figure out what the 3
Yeah.
is and see if, like,
Sure.
let's see what gets
I-
left off.
I like Goat Simulator 3 here.
Yeah.
For
Agreed.
dumb reasons.
That
because
seems like-
it's
Yeah.
super low stakes.
Yes, it is.
There's goofy,
Yep,
dumb
yep.
shit going on at any given turn, and yeah, it seems like the right choice.
It's a sandbox with a
pleaser.
sense
I like-
of humor. It's perfect.
Let me
Power
offer
Wash
this.
Sim for this.
Yeah, Sonic
Yeah.
Frontiers
Yeah.
I will take off because Sonic Frontiers seems to be kind of my thing, and we want to have this be the groups. Power Wash, Power Wash, Vampire, and Goat Simulator seem like a pretty
Yeah.
solid 3.
Yeah,
that
I
seems
think so.
solid.
I'm okay with
that.
that. Power Wash is doing what Hard Space Shipbreaker was doing, maybe a little bit better. So yes.
Okay. So can I take off Trombone, Cult of the Lamb, and Dorf?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Now we have to decide a winner.
I think
All right.
Power Wash.
Power
I
Wash.
I would go for Vampire Survivors, but
It's
there's
very
just-
stressful.
there's just enough like
Yeah.
friction and pushback
Yeah,
from the game that it like you have to actively like achieve something in a very specific set of circumstances.
There's
Maybe you have to
two-
remember things where you're like, oh, I'm going after these 5 evolutions.
Yeah.
And if you're messed up, it's kind of like, I forgot what I was going for. Oops, I grabbed the clover and I meant to get the
Yeah.
fucking garlic or whatever. Yeah,
There's-
yeah. So
There's two very different things that Power Wash and Goat Simulator are providing for drunken high people.
Okay.
Power Wash
Simulations.
Simulator is basically like stroking the furry wall, right? Where you're basically just
Oh,
like
okay.
scratching the itch and just sort of like being therapeutic and being in a safe
Oh,
space
okay.
where you're just like, nothing's going to hurt me. I'm just doing a power washing simulator. I'm going to be all right. Nothing can hurt me. Whereas Goat Simulator is more of like your slapstick, I'm stoned and I'll laugh at
Yeah.
mostly anything,
Yeah.
Sort of sandbox. So we're
And I
sort of
feel
just
like-
we're deciding between those two sort of
Different
you know,
concepts of this category.
concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
is
feel
what
like
we're doing.
Vampire Survivors would get uniquely upsetting the longer you go into
Oh,
it.
totally.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Like because of the sheer amount of stuff happening on the screen, I could see myself getting really overwhelmed by all that motion and
Right.
action.
You
And
can't
also,
blink.
don't forget, death is coming. That's upsetting.
Oh,
Yeah.
it does always end with death taking you away.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think
Well,
about
not
that all
always,
the
but yeah.
time. Well,
Yeah.
Power Wash is good as well because you can also like have a night of playing it while high, and then come back the next day and load it up and look at what you've achieved and be like, you know,
Yes.
I
cleaned
did
this whole
have
fucking skate park.
I
Holy shit.
cleaned most of this shit.
Yeah,
and
you would
know
never go
what?
back and be like, "What was I thinking?" You would just be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I cleaned the backyard."
Yeah.
may I
Yeah.
introduce
Good
like an X factor here is that the social aspect, and that between Power Wash Simulator and Goat Simulator 3, I think the social aspect of a bunch of you and the gang getting together and and just power washing stuff can either lead to good times or like be a good come down from the chaos
I think
of the
so.
night.
Like,
Lord
you get
Dracon
back
is right.
in,
Yeah,
from a night out.
Who?
You just
What?
want to wash some stuff.
The Green Ranger.
Oh,
I'm inexplicably playing pool. I have not touched my keyboard in
Hit
6
escape.
minutes.
Yeah,
because
I did
I'm-
wonder
Leave
why-
Billiards is there on the right or on the left.
The triangle left the room, by the way. It left through the ceiling.
It just rose
it
up.
does that. I don't know why.
I was
Pool,
like,
pool physics, you know, it's
it
fun.
looked like,
Yeah.
Jeff, you have something to say, do you?
Yeah, can we put a series of screenshots in the description for the podcast so people like listening to the
Yeah.
podcast can just check on things every once in a
Oh
while?
yeah, totally.
All of a sudden,
cool.
Star Platinum has decided billiards. It's
Yeah.
billiards time.
That
No,
pool
it's
cue
the
is an
billiard
enemy
stand.
Yeah, that is. I also
Should-
want to just go ahead and say I'm not sure I understood the assignment, and I am drunk and stoned at the moment right
Okay.
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
well,
We just assume that from you at this point.
Yeah.
fair.
Should
That-
I
that's the
bowl
real
Power
simulator.
Wash Simulator.
I think that's
I think
that's
so.
the win.
I think
Any
that's the winner.
objections?
I like it the way it looks. One
That feels like this
I-
category.
I have a
Absolutely.
small objection. I think Goat Simulator is the right choice here, but I would defer to the group.
Oh,
So
that's
it's,
very.
also, it's a
thank you,
great
Jason.
choice, but I think I will be in favor of Power Wash Simulator. There's no
There we go.
loser in this top.
You don't do
three
a
here.
2 and 3, right?
No,
Or
no,
How
no.
does that
Nope,
work?
nope, nope.
No.
Just two runners up.
It's not like a dog show.
There's
Okay,
no
got it.
podium. There's no podium.
This is the way I want them.
To
Yeah.
Power Wash Simulator for
That's a
winning a
winner.
prestigious award.
The award, yes. Congratulations to Power Wash Simulator for winning the Soulja Boy Presents Best Game for People Who Drink Beer and Get Drunk or Smoke Weed and Get High. Congratulations to Power Wash Simulator and our runners-up, Vampire Survivors, Goat Simulator. Thank
did
you, everyone. We did it. We did it. We got through one category.
Hey!
There we
We
go.
did, yeah.
No problem.
I'm beginning. It's a bit stuffy in here.
It's a bit stuffy. It's a bit
Yeah.
stuffy.
Wait, what are you
Yes.
thinking?
Yeah.
It's a little cramped, yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Can we open a window or something?
It
or what?
smells a
Open
bit
the
bad.
door, maybe. Can we?
I
Can't
said I
even
was
walk
so
by
hot
this
here.
enormous head.
It's very hot in
Well,
here.
well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
guys, I thought,
Yes.
I've got all this money.
Mm-hmm.
I lied a little bit. It didn't cost this much to build the Bombcast
Oh.
Jess.
studio, so
Those
I
Blue
thought
Yeti mics are fucking expensive, though.
They
Oh,
are
I'm sorry.
You had me
Sonic
going.
is just floating on my head.
Sorry.
that's typical.
Everyone
but-
line up.
Everyone line up because
Okay,
Can't
all right.
stop playing
Hold on.
pool.
Let's let the Lakitu get the reveal. Let the
I was gonna
Lakitu get a
say,
reveal.
but
Leave
does nothing.
billiards. Leave
So, wait.
billiards. It's a button.
I have to fix something real quick, so don't turn around yet. Like
Okay,
it's
all right.
Well, it's
Put
okay.
the keyboard without an escape key.
Jeff is.
What are we doing
Jeff,
here?
are you joking? You
Just-
don't
just
have
line
an
up,
escape
just line
key?
up.
This
Are we
man
not-
builds a keyboard
waiting.
where he individually
How do you
places
spend
every key
$300 on
and
a
then
keyboard?
doesn't have an escape key.
That was a
What?
joke. There is an escape key. It's not
Okay.
working.
That's the most expensive
All
key.
right, Jess, are you ready? Is the thing
Yes.
fixed? All right.
I
Do
wish
you?
to reveal the rest
Okay.
of what I've been up to.
Stand by the door, and then Lakitu will pan out.
Ooh.
Where are you, Jess?
I'm over
Someone
here
just
behind
played
you.
a
Stop
ball.
playing pool.
Okay. All right. Ready, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay. And revealing the rest of the Giant Bomb Pivot Palooza set created lovingly by Jess O'Brien.
Thank you.
Woo!
Sorry, audio only listeners. To describe it, it is the
We can
kind
cut
of
the part
funny
out of the
set.
audio.
Better than that. Fuck those people. We got red curtains. We got a big old TV screen. We got a weed Christmas tree. We got Spyro the Dragon's here. You can sit on him like a chair. We got all sorts of wacky shit. Arcade machines, lights, cameras, and action. We've got it all. It's a really good
we also have
DJ
a
booth.
live studio audience as well.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
There
Can
they
we
are.
get a little shot of
Yeah, yeah.
Suda is here.
Amaterasu is here.
Welcome.
We got
Welcome.
Cubone.
Cubone.
Can I sit on this
a frog.
freaky Pokemon? Am I sitting on a Pokemon?
Yes.
you are.
You are, yeah.
Where are
You
you?
have got your ass in that Mr. Mime's
Oh,
face.
Can I have a froggy chair?
I'm gonna
Oh.
request one of
This
the
items
seats
look
next to
cute.
the gnome.
I just look cute in froggy chair.
You look
actually.
great, Kawashima.
Thank you.
I'm sitting on Duke.
I will be sitting on Spyro the Dragon.
I'm stuck in the podcast room. Okay, never mind. I've gone out.
Giving Duke Nukem a lap dance as Funky Kong.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Now that we've we warmed up, we've gotten everyone. Please take your seats. Please take your seats.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, thank you, Jason, for sitting on Bubsy.
Yeah,
Somebody
for
had to.
taking that taking that for the
seat.
team.
Yep.
Jess, would you mind turning on the TV?
I think we all have to.
I will do this.
We all have to turn the TV on.
No.
Individually, we all
Yeah,
have
do
to,
we?
I think.
Oh, to get it on our screens, but if yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh god, if I turn around, I just see Duke Nukem's face just right in mine.
I love that Jason's sitting on Bubsy's head as a bear.
As a bear.
I can't turn the TV on in the Slackatoo one.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. Well, we'll defer to the other.
You might need to
angle.
change into something else and then turn it on.
I got the other camera angle. That's okay.
Okay.
I'll fix that in a bit.
So do we have stuff to put into the queue?
Yes, Jess.
Oh.
There is Earls next to the category names.
Oh,
Yes.
I can throw those in.
Yes.
Okie
Audio
dokie.
listeners, don't worry. You won't hear any of this.
Yes.
It's
Which
just
means
it's just
even
for
this part you're not
effect.
hearing.
Yeah. So
Don't worry about it.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about
It's
it.
just for you
It's
folks on the
fine,
internet
it's
right now.
fine.
Yeah.
Next to
Way
mine.
up there. Okay.
Oh, I froze.
Oh, look at that.
Well, we're good. We're good.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Hey, there we go.
Oh boy.
Okay. I'll be
Hell
putting all of
yeah.
them into the queue so you can pause and skip and all that stuff.
Also, folks, if you need, we have a little restroom here with a
Oh.
skull.
I haven't actually seen.
Yeah,
the restroom.
everyone just shit on that skull.
Yes.
Yep.
So if you need to use the bathroom, please physically get up from the set.
Oh,
like you
go
would.
Here. Oh, yes,
Go
yes,
here,
yes,
hang
yes,
out.
yes.
Dan, it doesn't work.
It's not.
We tried.
It should.
We tried.
It's supposed to.
We tried.
Something's supposed to do with that.
What is,
Yep.
Damn it.
What are you doing? Huh?
He's trying to jump through the painting.
We're trying to hump that
Oh,
painting.
I'm sorry.
like
Completely
um,
unrealistic.
I tried. I couldn't get the portal to work inside of an object because
Dan, but you should stand up and press K.
Okay, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to press the K button.
No.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
It's dead.
You killed him.
Funky Kong, no. Funky Kong.
Oh wait, actually,
back.
wait,
Fuck.
what is it?
Okay.
Everyone
Oh.
join the pile. Join
Dr.
the pile, everyone.
Cuddle puddle.
Wait, how do I get out of this? Help
Dr.
me.
Kawashima is terrifying over there.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I did it. Hang on.
Oh,
Kuba, no.
Oh no! I'm not even Dr. Kawashima anymore.
Oh no.
Wait, what happened to the head?
I don't
It
know.
changed.
Let me. I'll change back.
How do we come back to life?
There we go.
just move around. Just move around.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't
I'm
like
back,
this.
Flop on anything?
baby.
Here we go. Let's just get up here.
Hello.
Oops, I fell through the world. I'm back. Don't
All
worry.
right.
Funky Kong's bumping.
I can
Oh my
always
God.
tell where Jeff is because I can just hear his little. There he is. His little speed boots.
I can't turn on this projector for me. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go along.
It's on for me.
Jess, actually, do you want to do the curtain reveal?
Oh.
Yes, I do.
Okay, Jess, you have lovingly made the studio, and of course to pay homage the great, rich Giant Bomb history of Game of the Years, you have added.
Ooh.
I've added. Well, first of all, I think this was somebody else's idea. I don't remember who. Was it Tam? Did you suggest
Yeah, I
this?
think I did suggest it.
No,
was
thanks,
you.
Tam. It was mine.
Or maybe it was Jeff.
You could
No,
take
Might
it.
have been
that
Jeff.
No, I said pick. Well, I don't know.
Guys, it was
Anyway,
me. It was me.
anyway, ta-da!
Hey,
all the
look at
previews
that.
of the year.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at all them.
Is that
All those
chicory?
great
What
games.
the
Also,
fuck?
PUBG's up there, too.
Ah,
Chicory.
I don't know
PUBG?
why. I don't know why.
Did we
PUBG's
forget to
up
put
there.
Breath of the Wild up there? I think we must have forgot to put Breath of the Wild up
Is that
there.
one? Is that bananas? No, there are bananas in Breath of the Wild, right?
Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah.
Am I reading
Yeah,
this
that was a
right?
week year. I remember that one. That was a
I
week
think that's
year.
fair.
Damn, a lot of
No.
mistakes
A
were
week
made.
year.
That was, yeah, absolutely a week.
Uncharted
Well, I
2?
guess.
Was Bayonetta 2
Uncharted
that
2 is
year?
awesome. Look
I
at
feel like
that.
Bayonetta 2 should have beat that.
Uncharted
that was that year.
2?
It did not have the support.
Uncharted
Not
is
as
good.
good.
What are you saying?
But like
good.
Game of the Year?
Uncharted 2 was
What?
good.
The best game of the year.
Uncharted 2 was great back then.
So if you want a quick retrospective,
Skyrim?
all the way back at the start. All the way back at the start, for you audio listeners, I'm sorry. There was a curtain that revealed.
They're not getting this part. They're not getting this part.
they're not
We'll
getting it.
apologize to them.
I fuck those people. Then bye.
All right, folks,
Should
you
have
ready?
used your eyeballs, nerds.
You ready to continue on with the deliberations?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jeff.
Oh boy.
I'm comfortable.
Chronos Grub. He's just ragdoll.
Everyone, please take your
got
seats.
All right, here I go. All right.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Come on, real serious gaming time, folks. Come on.
Okay.
What are we doing? All right. Let's create a clean point for the audio listeners to get back in.
So is the Soldier Boy thing not displaying on your screen? You said.
It's
It
this,
is. I can see it.
I can see it.
One of Jan's camera
Yeah, it
angles.
looks
is
a little
getting
Play
blurry,
on
but
it?
it's not.
You might have to hit
it's
play
there.
on it or something.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have the big YouTube button on it.
oh,
on
you
my,
know what's
so-
going on?
Yeah, mine looks pretty clear.
Mine is.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same.
I went up and just
That's fine.
turned it on.
Oh, there we go. Now it's playing. It just says
That's
Soldier
fine.
Boy.
Maybe because
There
you
we
were
go.
flying.
Maybe because I'm Lakitu. Jeff Grubb, please get back
There
in
you
your
go.
seat.
Is it okay if I sit on Mr. Mime here? Is that?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's a
He's a
chair.
seat.
Yeah,
He's a
he's
chair. Got
miming
it.
to be a chair. Jess,
Yeah,
would you
got it.
mind switching to the next category, please?
Oh, for sure. Give me just a tick.
This is all staying in the Tower Unite version.
Yeah.
Yes.
No cuts. That's Sonic. You look disgusting.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
Okay. Everyone has taken their seats. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I keep looking for Jason, and Jason's just up there.
He's right there.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
Seat of
Oh,
honor.
Jesus. Oh, I just saw him. Okay.
All right, everybody.
You should start the zoom from there. From
Yeah.
him on Bubsy's head.
Jason, I'm just glad Bubsy's your thing.
Oh no.
Wait, no. It's Grub's thing.
All right.
Pawn it off on him. It's Grubsy.
Oh, I found the triangle rack.
It's up there, right? It's on
Yeah,
the
it's
ceiling.
above the room.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Kuma's hat.
I'm going to do this for me. And the next category of the day is Best Game to Stream. If you're joining us again in the audio version, I'm sorry. This is going to continue to be straight up nonsense. I also don't apologize. Maybe flip it on the good old YouTubes or the Twitchity Twitches. The nominees for Best Game to Stream are Fortnite, Neon White, Vampire Survivors, parentheses Twitch integration, Cult of the Lamb, parentheses Twitch integration, Fall Guys, The Quarry, Rift Tracks, the game,
The query?
Immortality,
The Quabber.
The spreadsheet.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Power Wash Simulator.
I'm sorry. What villain put immortality on the best game
Clearbird.
stream list?
Clearbird.
What the hell is this?
I did that because there's nude scenes and you can get away with it on Twitch, and I think that's fun.
That's
Oh.
why.
What?
Well, I don't know if that means it's the best game to stream.
that
Yeah, but I
off.
put it up there to have this exact moment, and now we can delete it. And
Okay,
hooray.
good. All right.
All right. Taking it off.
I got concerned for a second.
I remember
there.
just streaming that for 24 hours straight and just being continually upset. And I don't want any of that juju
I'm not
here.
going there. I'm not going there.
Boobs
I'm
are
not going
legal
there.
now. We did
I'm not
it,
going there.
everybody.
Thank you,
Finally.
Business Sonic, Jeff Grubb, for crunching the numbers and making sure
Yes.
that it's all good to go now.
I spent the
We
whole
are
quarter
good.
working on that.
Best game to stream. I'm gonna say I'm gonna start an early lock here. Neon White.
I'm gonna say that too.
Yeah.
I
good.
agree.
Early lock.
I mean,
Early
okay,
lock.
no, it is very good to stream, but you kind of can't interact with your audience all that
Yes.
much while you're
What I
playing
was
it.
gonna say is because
Mm.
like you are so locked in that you kind of have to like take these dedicated breaks where you're like, okay, let me look at the chat, because you're not looking at the chat when you're doing a fucking run that has to be 12 seconds long, you know, over and over and over and over again.
I will say that even during that, the audience has almost always been very into it. When I was streaming it, they didn't mind that I was interacting with them too much because they just liked the madness that I was sending myself into. So I think it still probably does make the list. But I think
Let's
there's
not,
just,
yeah, let's
I
not
would
take it off.
also I would also argue that like the fact that you have these like staccato moments where you are definitely going to glance at the chat versus I definitely cannot. that's something that can be valuable to someone watching a stream, because they know they're not going to get their chat thing that they just said is not going to get seen during this part, but they can still like analyze what they're doing during this. They can provide feedback when the person isn't doing their run anymore, because you do die so often or restart your run so often. So I don't know. There's value in that.
Yes, I think the audience ends up working together with you in those sections when you like, okay, I need to take a breath. And they're like, okay, well, while you've been playing this entire time and haven't been paying attention to us, we've been talking it out. We want you to try this. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll give that a shot. And they've really like honed it down, and you give it a shot. And a lot of times it doesn't work, but it's still fun to work those things out with the audience. And it's a game that's really well made for that.
The other thing that's great about doing playing Neon White live is if you have a buddy chiming in or popping on, or a friend sees you playing, they'll try and actively beat your times.
Yes.
And
I
like
had
that live
Grub
component.
a couple times. People would be coming into my chat being like, Grub's streaming right now. He just beat your time on whatever. And it's like, okay, well, fuck, let's do this. Send it back to him. You know, like that can be pretty fun.
I also think
And
it's
doing stuff like the gimmicky stuff like the Neon White Open and everything. Like
Yes.
that, there's fun stuff you can do with that.
so
So,
good.
yeah.
the other
Let's
great.
leave that for now. Let's look for some
Yes.
easy cuts here. Let me say, I like Kirby and the Forgotten Land a lot. Is there anything specifically about Kirby you think that makes it a stream game versus some of the other stuff on this list?
I put it on there, and my big thought was that it is very chill, and so it's you're capable of having those communications with the audience. I don't know if that gets it into the top 3. I just think it's a
Fill
nice,
time.
easy one, but it's not gonna probably hang here, I don't think.
You did. That is a good point. I streamed it exclusively from an elliptical while I was working out and talking to the chat. So it's a pretty easy game to stream. It's pretty
Right,
laid
that's
back.
kind of that's the sort of thing I was thinking. It's like, you know, I guess there are some games that are like that, but this is a good one of those. But I don't think even that sort of concept, that category of stream game, needs to be represented on this list.
Okay, it is cut.
See ya.
I also would like to submit that Vampire Survivors is a great game. For the longest time, it was basically unstreamable because it
Bitrate
looks
stuff, or-
awful. Yeah, the bitrate stuff was really rough.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
I didn't think
Yeah.
about that. Yeah,
The
I
Twitch
was thinking about
integration is
the Twitch
great,
integration.
but-
it's really
but-
good.
Yeah, it's really good, but the
You make a great
actual like
point.
playing
The-
of the game is like it's not a good experience for people watching.
And they're
Okay.
missing the most exciting parts of the game, which is like the late game where things are going insane. I had not considered that. I just do want to give it credit for that Twitch integration is about the smoothest. Like I went into the options menu and it's like, just type your Twitch name in here. And I did it. And I was like, there was no authorized. There was no like
Wow.
tie this or do an extension or anything like that.
Yep.
I was like, there's no way this is going to work, but it just ties to the chat. And so when it pops up, if you haven't done it, it's like, okay, do you want, garlic, clover, or cross? And
Oh.
people just hit 1, 2, or 3, and you see the names popping up on your screen for what people are voting for. But then they can also vote for like, oh, do I want to give them a gold rush or like zombie panic or something? So they can like trigger all these things just in the chat. So like the way it does it is very, very simple. But Tam brings up a really good point with the bitrate thing. So I
Yeah.
would not be against cutting that.
Let's leave it on for now.
Yeah.
It could be on the bubble, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that is a point against it for sure. I mean, so then in the Twitch integration camp, Cult of the Lamb, how do we feel about that one?
It's good. Got
Yeah.
really good Twitch integration. I mean,
Yeah, it was good.
if they can, how does it work? Do they give bits or they can like buy a thing where like the next follower is named after them and they get to decide what that character looks like and wears and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it's
can
like a
also do
raffle
thing where
sort
they're
of thing.
triggering things.
Yeah.
like like boons or hurtful things. Like it's pretty fun.
Good game.
Okay.
I don't get too excited about Cult of the Lamb though. I mean, it's good, but are we just kind of putting it up here because it's like, oh, it does the thing and it does it well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that this is better than half of this list on here.
Yeah,
I'm okay
Yeah.
with cutting it.
Jess, I think you played a lot of Cult of the Lamb. I just wanted you to, before we cut it, if there was something to defend about Cult of the Lamb. We talked about like the integration and everything.
Stream wise, it is really nice. I did play it with my stream, and it was pretty funny to have people become my cult members and they get to choose like what little guys they look like and stuff like that. So I did like that part of it like a lot. It was really cute. But like when it comes to actually playing the game and not doing the management parts, it's not as big of a like factor like the chat. So I understand cutting it. I would die on the hill for Cult of the Lamb. I like it a lot, but
It is good.
Who's gonna make the case for the Fall Guys?
I think it's a Jeff Grubb.
I think it's a great game. However, does it feel like it has kept the momentum it had from when it launched a couple years ago?
Well, when it went free to
Custom
play,
games.
it definitely went free to play and got custom games.
Yep.
And the custom games are pretty good. They're not exactly what I want because it feels like it's hard to get the exact show you want. You know, shows are what they call their the sort of, we're gonna give you 4 matches. Yeah, the mini games back to back to back, and it's like they can be very theme heavy. So it's like all of these are going to be your jumping over stuff, and it's kind of hard to find the right one that you want. But it is still one of the games where I think if you boot it up at any time, because it's free to play now, everyone in chat can just immediately join wherever they're playing, and everyone immediately understands how to have a good time doing it. And it's in that same idea of a battle royale, but it's more welcoming to a different group of people than just the average battle royale. And battle royale custom games are hard to put together in a lot of instances. You can do it. Fall Guys custom games, I found we can always get 15 to 45 people every night that I'm streaming playing that, and that's a big part of it. So like best to stream, I think Fall Guys probably can make this list. It might be on the bubble as well, though.
Let me bring up one thing though, because I've done this several times, and like let's say in the first round I die. Then it's like, oh, okay. So now I guess am I just spectating people for like 4 more rounds, or am I backing out and just leave? Like that feels weird too, because then it's just like leaving this game that you started with everyone. So that can
I
be
like
really
that because then I get to do the shoutcasting, but that's not for everybody. So I don't think that's totally a point in its favor or anything. I think you're probably right. That's a negative because you don't want to sit out if you're the streamer.
Should we cut it?
Yeah. Yeah,
I will also back you up, Grubb, that it's very fun. I really did enjoy it. And
it's not going to make this top 3, though.
But
I do enjoy the new life that Fall Guys has had because of going free to play, and it is a fun time. Like I enjoyed it when we played it, and I don't think I remember enjoying it the first time I played it for the website. They've done a really good job. Also, SpongeBob's in it.
We got it.
Yeah, they've had a lot of really great skins since the Epic stuff. So yes, that's cool. It's a good game worth checking out. I will play it on stream again, without a doubt.
Same.
All right.
Well, who wants to talk Quarry?
Oh,
So
I really liked
the Quarry, but I did not stream it. Did you stream it?
I did stream it. It's
How was
very fun.
it?
It's just it's one of those games where you like you just react to kind of the absurdity of it because it's not as smooth. A lot of the dialogue is very, very weird. A lot of sometimes as well, even just like when you're anticipating the like seeing how far you can get away with playing licensed music. I just had a really fun time with it, but I think that was just because my chat was really cool with it as well. I wouldn't say it's an amazing game, certainly.
Yeah.
But I had a fun time with it.
It's fun to watch for sure. Yeah,
I because of all the different permutations you can get as well. Like people are in my chat saying, oh, I was watching Nextlander and they did this, or I was watching whoever and they had this bug, and it was quite like a nice little moment on Twitch for the window where it was a moment was very, very short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
in terms
streamed
of
it
being
and I
the
watched
streamer, it was fun.
Yeah, I streamed it, and if I wasn't streaming it, I wouldn't have played that game. But like streaming it made it more fun for me.
I wouldn't have played the Quarry if I wasn't couch co-op playing it with my partner, and like that's just like the best way to play those Dark Pictures style. I know this one is not in the Dark Pictures anthology, but you know what I mean. The Supermassive, is it Supermassive that makes you?
Yeah, the Supermassive.
Like these horror games they make like are kind of built from the ground up to be something you enjoy with other people, like especially if you're hanging out and drinking and you're just kind of fucking around and seeing what happens. Like that's kind of the vibe of it. So I do see the appeal of streaming it. But yeah, is it like as compelling as these other ones? Not really.
Yeah, no. I just wanted it to get a little
I mean,
nudge.
If it's not the Quarry though, because here's where I'm at. Neon White Vampire Survivors feel like they're going to make this list.
Yeah.
I guess like we did have some questions about Vampire Survivors, but I don't know if it's not the Quarry. the other ones we have on here are Fortnite, Rift Tracks, and Power Wash. I don't feel great about Fortnite on here. Just to put that out there right now.
Fortnite, though, I mean, you can't deny that it is like when it comes to best game to stream, it is one of the most streamed games ever.
It is one of the most streamed games.
Our thing. This is our listen. Like I love streaming Fortnite. I do it a lot. I know we've done it a few times on the site here. So as a group, as Giant Bomb, do we enjoy streaming Fortnite? Top 3 of the year.
I think so, because I think Dan, Grubb, and I really not really sold on Fortnite. We knew that like Abby was really passionate about the game, had a whole dang series about convincing St. Vincent to play with her. It not only took streaming it together, but also the great power of John Cena and Goku that I think it infected our minds and the website in such a way that it might hang here.
And when this week alone, I got Sarah Connor, Marcus Phoenix, and a Terminator. So
that's pretty sick.
It's still going.
I'm good with Fortnite.
I like Fortnite.
Yeah.
Even though it's not my type of game and I've never played Fortnite, believe it or not, I like acknowledge its place in this category.
Here's my hang up. I don't think I got a cool skin in this video game is a fun story to be doing on stream. I think where it probably did work is when we were all being John Cena and we were telling a story of look how dumb we are, look at all the stupid stuff John Cena's doing. I just does it rise, like, do you go and then tell a non-gaming friend or even a gamer friend the stories that happened to you in Fortnite? I think we probably do, and that probably does make for an okay stream. It just doesn't feel as magical as maybe it has in the past. I don't know.
I think you can do really exciting moments can happen, because like a thing I do with my sister is like typically when we would finish like a Gears of War co-op stream, we'd be like, all right, let's do one game of Fortnite and stream this, and it's like no matter if we die right away or we get first place, we're doing one, and that adds that tension to the stream. And like the couple times we've like gotten a victory royale that way, it's very, very exciting, and it makes for really exciting stream moments and everything. And you still can do the custom games and stuff. It's not as seamless as something like Fall Guys, but it can be done, and that's a lot of fun. I think it's some of my favorite stream moments of the year. I've been getting like those, clutch victories in Fortnite.
I think once I like hearing that, kind of thinking about it, I'm okay with it making. I do have just some reservation. If the list is Neon White Vampire Survivors Fortnite, I guess I'm probably okay with that.
Let me hear the argument for Rift Tracks, because I feel like Rift Tracks we run into the same problem with the Jackbox and like the last category of like, oh, my humor isn't super duper appealing for others. I feel like Rift Tracks is maybe a better game to play with an in-person group,
a local group.
Yes,
Thanksgiving with the family or something.
I mean, the thing I was going to argue, not that I want it to be top 3, but if I'm playing a devil's advocate here, Rift Tracks, the game does have the ability for not only the community, the chat, to vote on what the funniest stuff is, but also to pick the next clip.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's an integration to keep in mind. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, they can play too, right? Because if you play like the card mode, they can vote on which card to play. So the audience could be one of the members there. I like that stuff. I also think it's just hit or miss. This is probably why Rift Tracks doesn't make it, because people are right. People are saying, oh, you need the in-person group. I've had some luck with my audience, but my audience has been very much like I don't know. I make Rift Tracks jokes all the time. They kind of come from that place. So I think as a Giant Bomb one, I think it probably doesn't squeak in here just based on the strength of that.
Yeah, wow, we don't actually even have Jackbox in here.
Oh, well,
and we had didn't we have like the fucking exclusive?
Yeah, we did. We got it.
But like, I remember us playing it, and we were able to stream it early, and there were some of the games, and we were like, ooh.
We just didn't get it.
As good as like.
It just proves how unbiased we really are. Like we can get the scoop, and we'll be like, "Yeah, this one's a stinker. Here's the 2 stinkers of the pack."
Someone who has 3. Let's go. Let's play the old one.
I'll say this because Power Wash is probably a big one for me. The thing I liked about streaming it is very easy to just kind of like share a code, and then it's very easy to get 5 people to join you for a 6-person squad. It is Game Pass, right?
It is.
Was it? Yeah. I remember it being like super easy to like stream and be like, hey, everyone, download it. It's on Game Pass, and then like figure out ways to like kind of min-max, like, okay, you go over there in the pool, I'll go over here, you get the fence, and then like see how fast you and your viewers can like clean up. But that is a very specific use case, and I don't think that there's not a lot that it specifically does to be a stream game. And some people might be bored by that. I don't know. I haven't seen any complaints, but I can't see it being everyone's cup of tea watching like long cleaning streams. So
Yeah, we did that big one, and I really enjoyed that.
I like
Yeah, and there was a lot of emergent fun stories that came out of that I think make for really good streaming. I'll never forget like everyone washing the butthole. It's gonna like that moment of the year, right there. Yeah,
I have never felt more FOMO of missing UPF than missing Power Wash Simulator and seeing the thumbnail of you just spraying away,
going to town,
like spin spray in the asshole. Yeah,
yes.
I was very regretful I wasn't there that week.
Was it a dragon's asshole? What was it?
It was a dragon's asshole.
Yeah, dragon's asshole.
Medieval castle. Yeah.
It was a good time.
It's my favorite trading card game place. Yeah,
I think Power Wash Simulator could. I'd say it would stay more so than the Quarry because I feel like
I'm good with the Quarry going. I just wanted it to get like a little moment.
Okay.
I like Power Wash more than Fortnite. I do.
Also,
Power Wash, but...
I know,
Jess, please,
like
yes.
Fortnite's a big deal, but maybe it's just like maybe Fortnite has had enough praise. Maybe it's like we're grading on a little bit of a curve. Maybe where
is it
like,
recency bias?
Yeah,
I think so.
Well, I think the reason that there was so much recency is because they did a lot to the game this year. Like between Zero Build and this new chapter completely blew up the map, and there's all sorts of new stuff. Like it is very appealing right now.
I think Fortnite is the best hang game of the year. It's the best game to hang out with your friends, to have a good time, to joke around, and I think that can make for a good stream. And I think Power Wash is definitely similar. It's trying to be a cool hang game. But I like the stories that we told in Power Wash more than I like the ones in Fortnite generally.
Here's an argument too for Fortnite though, is because think about like because it's got the right level of like action and downtime that like if you are streaming with people like Grub, think about the time there's one late night where me, you, Mitch, and my sister all were like separately just like, hey, yeah, let's all just jump into a squad and do this. And you can talk, you can joke, you can talk to your chat and things like that, but also there is action. So it's kind of got all those hallmarks of a good stream between the communication and the actual gameplay action and stuff like that. I think it straddles that line perfectly, I think.
A concern I want to raise that the chat brought up, and I think I agree with it, is that Fortnite didn't come out this year. It did get a major update, of course, but like then do we extend that major update thing to all games that had a decent major update? Like it kind of,
I think if you can make the argument for it, you can.
Here.
No, I think. Yeah, go ahead, Jan.
I do want to bring up during Game of the Year deliberations to let's avoid as much input and influence from the chat as possible. Also,
I was just they were saying what I was wondering.
also, ultimately, it is our list. We define it and everything. So I do feel like there is a lot of passion for Fortnite, so I do think it can hang on this category.
I wanted to discuss.
It's had meaningful updates. It's had meaningful updates, and it's something that has become more of a game that we stream together as a site and as a team.
Yes.
And those meaningful updates are not like small content packs. It's like what Dan was saying. It's like new skins are one thing, but like reworking an entire map and creating these kind of new ways to engage with the game. I think that's enough to give it a kind of second life, or I don't know how many lives it's had right now, but
we're nominating Second Life.
Oh no,
Second Life. Let's go.
Second Life, best game to stream.
Here's okay.
Second Life.
Let's maybe make this move. What about the top three? At least is Fortnite, Neon White, and Power Wash Simulator.
Yes. I was going to say the same thing for what Tam brought up about the issues with streaming bitrate wise. And also when you look at like what us as a site, what we've streamed this year, we haven't really done a lot of Vampire Survivors. We had a really cool co-op Power Wash stream. We've streamed a ton of Fortnite. We had plenty of Neon White stuff here. I think as far as Giant Bomb's best game to stream, I think Vampire is the one to cut. And then we decide on those other three.
I can live with that, I think.
Yeah.
So like given our conversation we just had about like the viability of games that did not technically come out this year but we discovered this year like Fortnite, we got to consider Tower Unite now, right? Just a little.
I think we could consider anything, and the argument will just have to be strong. That's all.
The
I
thing,
think this is the argument. Look at what we're doing right now.
well, right, but this is like
It's a
like the
singular
0
moment.
hour. We are doing game of the year now. It's not something that we like streamed throughout the year, things like that. You know,
Right.
It's
I was going to suggest
obviously
Goat
very
Simulator
funny.
3, but we only streamed it once, and it was like, a quick look live. Had we gone back to Goat Simulator 3, I would probably be making an argument for it here if it held up. But I just don't feel like we streamed it enough. I don't know if we could do anything in Tower Unite again after this. I think this might, like, we are spending our Tower Unite currency doing this, and nothing will feel as magical again.
Yeah.
Maybe it's enough to get it on the list, but I just don't think so.
Part of the fun of streaming Tower Unite is just like, whoa, what the fuck is this thing? This is crazy. Look at all these things you can be. But there is that initial novelty value that, like, I streamed this for the first time a few months ago, and I haven't come back to it because it's like, again, you get that big moment, you see how silly it is and everything, and it's not something you come back to time and time again, like I do a Fortnite, or like I feel like a Neon White would have the legs for, things like that.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
like that top 3.
I like that.
I do
Yeah,
too.
which one
Same.
wins?
I'm gonna say, I think based off of the most fun I've had this year, I think it's Neon White. And I didn't even stream anything. I think Neon White Open is probably some of the best content we've put out this year. That was a really fun stream. It set my computer on fire, but it also
The tree debuted.
the tree debuted.
The tree. Oh my god.
Not this lovely weed
Blessed be the tree.
That
but-
was the tree debut?
Yeah.
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 His
Oh.
PC was on fire so much it was the only way he could communicate.
yes,
Spoke through the tree.
yes, yes.
Well, the
Just-
tree has spoken.
just
like that
as
Bible story, yeah.
Screw-
exactly, exactly.
It really does
Fur-
do everything.
Further gamifying the game made an excellent stream out of it, and like
And
there's
it lends
probably
itself to
other
that.
ways. There's probably other ways to gamify it that we didn't even think of too.
Yeah. I do think it was a bold choice to show off and subject everyone to, Jess, of doing the boss fight, because I think that was messed up, but seeing how people adapt on the fly and just seeing people's hubris and that hubris
Create
fall
a lot
apart,
of dramatic.
there's
You
a
could just say
lot of
me.
drama.
You could just say me.
I didn't know.
It's a game that you could do a lot of different stuff with in a stream setting, and I think that's kind of what pushes it over the top. You can do the shout casting, and you
Yes.
can set up the Neon White Open, and you can just play it, and you can communicate with your audience about it. It's a good game for this category.
Flexible.
Boys.
Yes.
Everyone. Ladies. Boys.
Lucy.
There is a game that we have absolutely missed.
What's that?
Lay it down.
Jenga.
Go on.
It is good. It's very
Man, we did stream it twice.
I am
Yeah.
100%
When did that come out,
switching my
though?
vote
I
to
mean-
Jenga.
Oh, when
Are
did
we
that
adding
come
it?
out?
Are we officially adding it?
Jenga came out in 1912.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
all right. I might have to put my foot down, and it might have to be a video game.
Okay. Oh well.
Okay.
If we
That's
played
why
the
you gotta
Wii version,
specify.
if we played the Wii version of Jenga or Wii U version of Jenga, very
Yeah.
different story.
I think it's nice that we mentioned it. I think
Yes.
it's nice it came up in the conversation.
We can put an
I think it's
asterisk.
good
that.
to get the.
Is there VR Jenga yet?
Oh, there
There
has
almost
to
certainly
be.
is. I promise you that there is.
I like
Yes.
need that.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason.
Jan has just gone into the doc and in all caps written video before game.
There is a PS3. There is a PlayStation Move game on PS3 called Tumble that is like motion Jenga
Oh.
type.
Yeah.
stuff. It's
Oh
actually
my
really
God.
good.
Well, all right,
Yeah.
everyone, go get your Move controllers. I know what we're
Okay.
doing next week.
Boot it up.
Oh, someone said, is it in tabletop sim?
It is.
Oh, might be.
Oh shit! It might
Well, I mean, there's like a
I think-
different level of drama that happens.
Yes.
It's similar to Rift Tracks,
Physical
right?
blocks.
Yeah.
The
You
other
need
thing
the
is, like-
physicality, the in-person
You need the risk
energy.
of someone setting their drink down and knocking the
Yeah. Also, Jenga hasn't been updated with any meaningful content in maybe a decade.
Actually,
people are
the
saying
one I
The
Super
brought
Mario
Mario,
Comic came out
the
this
Mario
year.
version, excuse
Yeah.
me?
All right,
Yeah, I
I'm
said
gonna
meaningful,
ask
not updated to be
abstain
worse.
from letting
It's a bit
chat
like goes to
influence
shit
you.
whenever the tower falls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they
a
made
mess.
Jenga
It is a
worse. You're right,
mess.
Jam.
Dark Souls Jenga comes out next year. We'll consider that, Tam. All right.
Hell yeah.
Blocks are invisible.
Yes.
No, man.
All right.
I can't wait for him to go on stage next year and accept that award as well.
My vote still goes for Fortnite, and if I'm on an island here, I'm fine with that. For the reasons I was saying earlier about how, like, you know, the action, the conversation, the streaming with other people, the talking to the chat, all of those things being kind of perfect harmony, as well as just kind of that ever-changing, like they're constantly bringing things in and out, bringing weapons out of the vault, the maps changing, introducing new things to the item shop. Like, there's just a lot to keep that going. So my vote goes to Fortnite, but again, you know, let me know if we want to go Neon White, we can.
I think you both. I think Neon White and Fortnite both have a pretty good case.
My last argument I want to raise for Neon White perhaps winning this. And again, this is not a dig. This is not a dig. I think it is so compelling of a game to stream for our own Jeff Grubb to be transfixed on the first handful and chapters of levels to not actually feel compelled to finish the game, that you just want to stick around.
Yeah.
And that you just want to stick around and continue reliving and restreaming those same levels, and for the ability to keep streaming those levels, and for the entertainment for not only yourself but for the audience to keep going and just keep on improving. I think that makes it the best video game to stream.
I like that. I think Fortnite has breadth. It has just this endless glut of content that is absolutely fueling the excitement to go play it some more. I think that people in the audience are more attracted, find themselves more interested when you find something small in a game and you hone in on it and you just obsess over it and you try to squeeze every last little bit of streaming juice out of a game. And Neon White is that. It's in the complete opposite direction. But I honestly think that is, in the end, something a little bit better for streaming than what Fortnite does these days. Fortnite, when it first came out in 2017, this is probably a little bit different conversation. I think at this point, though, it's kind of pretty routine seeing Fortnite on the stream, and it kind of loses its luster for me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure viewers have just seen so many Battle Royale streams for so many years now that something like Neon White is probably novel, and you're cheering along with the streamer, hoping that he gets a new time. Like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Do we bold it?
I like Neon White here. Yeah, let's go.
I think we bold it.
Bolded.
There it is.
Wait, PUBG. Can we consider PUBG?
No, PUBG's already on the set.
Game of the year. Once we get the game of the year, we'll talk about that.
Oh boy! All right. Well, that a new winner is crowned. The winner of Best Video Game to Stream is Neon White. Our runners-up,
Very good, very good.
in no specific ranking, being Fortnite and Power Wash Simulator. Congratulations to Neon White. Congratulations to the runners-up. How do we feel about taking a quick bricky break?
I would love that.
Do we have to leave the couch area?
I mean, if you want to leave the couch area, you can walk wherever you want, Dan. Just don't wander too far, all right? We need to stay on time.
Funky Kong's just going to pee on this wall, if that's cool.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Okay,
don't go in that
You're gonna
building.
take a slash.
Okay.
All right,
We're all gonna have a
okay.
splash.
I guess everyone is just peeing on this wall. All right. Jesus Christ. All right, folks, we'll be back with more categories, and we'll see you in just a little bit.
And Clipboards.
And Clipboards. Faded to Black. Welcome back, everybody, to Giant Bomb's Game of the Year 2022. The metaverse. We're pivoting. If you missed the second part, if you're just tuning in now, audio, that's an odd way to listen to podcasts. I guess skipping a whole hour, you're not gonna understand anything, and that's why station identification also exists. We've gone through 2 categories already. First category being the Soulja Boy presents Best Game of the Year for people who drink beer and get drunk, or smoke weed and get high. The winner being Power Wash Simulator, runners-up being Vampire Survivors and Goat Simulator 3. The second category that we've already gone through today is Best Video Game to Stream. The winner being Neon White, runners-up being Fortnite and Power Wash Simulator. Moving on to the third category of the day, if folks in attendance can please take their seats. You can hang out on the floor if you want, if you're more comfortable that way. The next category of today is Best Game You Bounced Off Of. The nominees.
It's like all the games I played this year. Holy shit.
The nominees being Elden Ring, Neon White, Tunic, Sifu, Live Alive, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Multiverses, Rumbleverse, Horizon Forbidden West. Any last-minute additions we want to get to before we get to deliberations?
That hits the big ones.
That hits the big ones.
Big ones.
All right.
Now, I think we got to figure out who bounced off, because I think if a majority beat a game, or if the majority bounced off, I think that's important. Like the more of us that bounced off of something, I think the more of a contender it is here. So like Elden Ring,
I thought it would be more like
there's
the
gotta be
opposite way
games. Yeah, there's going to be more games that like not everybody played, like Sifu.
Sure.
Like I don't think most of us played Sifu.
I didn't play.
but if like
Yeah.
100% of the people that played Sifu didn't beat it, I think that makes it a good contender there. Versus
No,
like
I-
Elden Ring, half of us beat it, half of us didn't.
I think there needs
But
to
it's
be
also
some.
the best game that you bounced off of.
Yeah, I think there needs
Yeah,
to be some
best.
consideration given to. I bounced off this because I wasn't having a good time, and I bounced
Yep.
off this because I have, you know, I had
Life?
other things to do. Life got in the
Yeah.
way, and I would love to go back to it.
Yeah.
For
Which-
me,
Or-
like, yeah, for me,
or like-
Horizon
like-
is basically coated in flubber. Like when I go anywhere near
Like
that thing,
Gotham
I'm just
Knights.
fucking
Mm.
nowhere near it.
And for me, as the person who put Tunic on here, I just feel bad that I bounced off it. Like everyone is like, "Oh, this is such an incredible, incredible game," and I'm like, "Ooh, I really want to like it, and I don't know what's wrong with me.
Nah,
that I
I-
don't like this." And
I bounced off in
it
the
so
second half of
hard.
that game. I think I actually did. I think I beat it, but I'm considering a bounce off because I put it on very easy and basically just phoned in the rest of the game and I wasn't even really paying attention
Yeah.
after a certain point.
Yeah.
I beat it too, but I think I mentally kind of bounced off. There was a point in that game where I really appreciate what that game is doing. I think the stuff with the manual and like that
Yeah.
crazy,
Me
the
too.
golden path stuff and everything is incredible. But I saw what it was, and I like intentionally was like, okay, I'm not going to engage.
It
with
didn't
on
bridge the
that
gap
level.
for me. Like I was in the beginning. I'm like, this plays a lot like a Zelda, and then there's all this fun hidden secret stuff, obviously, and then there is this big chasm between that and actually enjoying all that hidden secret stuff, and it did nothing to to hold my hand to get past that chasm. So I was kind of like, I
Which
ended
I
up
like-
bouncing off of that part.
Which I like respect in a way, but
Yeah.
it's like, oh, but like it's also really hard. I think Tunic is uniquely difficult to get back into if you played like 8 hours of it and you're like, oh, I should get back to that. You're gonna
Oh,
land
sure.
in there
Yeah.
and be like,
Yeah.
I don't have a fucking idea of what I was previously doing or where I was
especially
going
since-
or anything.
Yes, since the navigation of that is so tied to like, oh, you have to know that like if you hug by the right of the windmill, you can skip this part. Like if you don't play for a few months, you're not going to remember that. Like, oh, this is the easy way to get from this part of the map to the other.
Yeah, let's leave Tunic for now. I
Yeah.
even all that. I don't know if it's gonna make it here. Let's
Let
leave
me
Tunic
bring this
for
one
now.
up. Live Alive has 5 different, I guess, I don't know if you call them vignettes or just side stories, like
Sure.
yeah, beginning, middle, and end
Like
of
Characters.
Quest.
Yeah. I played through one of them and I was like, this is really good. And I'm not a JRPG guy at
Same.
all, but I played through one of them and I was like, man, I got a full story there. But I think part of it is like, I basically rolled credits on one and I was like, all right, on to the next thing. And I didn't go back to the other ones.
Yeah.
But everything I played was really good. So I
I-
have no reason to doubt that the other 4 are great too.
I'm the same exact way. I did 2 of the things, and they were all the demos. And then I can't wait to go play this real thing. And I'm like, I'm not going to be carrying over any of the stuff I actually did because no matter what, I'm going to be starting a new quest, and that it makes it pretty hard to continue that on. But I really wanted to. Everything I played, I really liked. I think Live Alive's a pretty easy one to make this actually.
Yeah.
Really? Huh.
I never
Agreed.
played it.
Yeah, I didn't play it.
Why
Yeah, I think
is
it's
how
a-
many of us bounced
definitely a-
off of Neon White?
I bounced off it.
Yeah, I bounced off it, but I guess it
I
does
loved
make
it.
sense. Yeah, I had a great time, but I had the thing where I couldn't move on to another level because I'm like
Oh, okay.
I'm like shaving microseconds.
I don't know if
off.
that counts because that's just
I
I
don't
think
know
that's
if that
another
counts.
viable way
Yeah.
to play it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like then I was like, I gotta come back to this another time because I don't have the time to do that. Play that way.
I don't think that counts as bouncing off. Is like I've got other obligations. I think it's just like I want to like this. I don't know
Yeah.
why I don't, and everyone else likes it.
Yeah,
That's how
I know that if I
interpret bouncing
Yeah,
off.
I know that if I went back to Neon White, I'd carry on having a great time. So I don't think it counts for me in the same way.
Let me
like
suggest a
for
cut
me like
here.
like
Okay.
Elden Ring, I got very close to the end and then I stopped playing because I got distracted by a shitload of things. I don't consider that me bouncing off Elden Ring.
Who here bounced off in the traditional sense of Elden Ring?
I did.
No, I'm okay.
I did.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt the same way about like Dark Souls 3 as well. Like I got to the fucking end game in that. My save got fucking eaten up, but I had no desire to like go back to it. That was like 80 plus hours or
Well, that
whatever.
makes sense. I wouldn't want to do that all
Oh,
over again
yeah.
either.
But
Like, that's
Yeah.
a time sink.
Well, yeah, but I had the same feeling with like Bloodborne. Like I got towards the end, and it's like, I made it most this way. I don't need to like suffer the frustration of like going through the end boss. And I felt the same way with Elden Ring. It just came a lot quicker, I think. I've proven myself as far as like that genre is concerned. Like,
I think Elden Ring makes a lot of sense for this category, even if it's just a couple people that bounced off of it, because it's a good game and you bounce off of it for any number of reasons. I think it can make this list.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let me bring up a potential cut here. I don't know how you all feel about it. Horizon Forbidden West, I definitely bounced off of, but I also don't consider like this is best game you bounced off of, and I don't even think it's particularly a good game. So I think we take that.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
agree.
very boring, uninspired game.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I'm comfortable.
I love how
do
we
you
all
feel
just stunt
about-
on Horizon every chance we get.
I'm sorry. I started a
I have
trend
no opinion on it. I have no
Very boring.
I don't
It's
care.
got the slowest fucking start ever.
It's just sadly it's just a bit soulless. Like it's they
It's
made another one of
completely
those
soulless.
games and it's
and
just
ugly.
Like, okay.
God, I can't get over it.
Fuck that game, right?
Fuck that game.
Okay, I'm not gonna go that far
I'm not
to
gonna
say
that
fuck
far,
this
but-
game.
Let's all say fuck Horizon together. Ready?
3, 2.
2, 1.
Fuck Horizon.
Fuck Horizon.
All right.
We have a category for that.
Oh, right.
That's the emergency category. Yes. Thank you, Jeff.
How do we feel about the two verses in here, Multiverses and Rumbleverse? I did not
one's
play
Rumbleverse?
either of these verses.
I mean,
don't know.
I bounced off Multiverses after like 5 games. So,
Yeah, what
but then
counts as
I
a
am
bounce
not.
off, right?
I
'Cause,
am
like,
not a
Yeah.
fighting game person.
Yeah,
or
you
a-
know,
or
same.
a
I think there's a
roller type
difference
person.
between bouncing off and starting it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I also tend to consider bouncing off like a game that has a defined kind of beginning and end, you know? Like any game that just goes on indefinitely. Like, are you really bouncing off if you just kind of naturally stop playing a Fortnite or an Overwatch or something like that that never really ends?
Oh, actually, in
no,
that
I
case,
think you can-
Overwatch 2 is the best game I've bounced off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we've bounced off of it. I think we
haven't
just
been
haven't had a
around.
chance to play it
Been
properly.
busy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think you could definitely bounce off a game like that without a beginning, middle and end. And I don't know if it's best game though, Multiverses, because it's definitely a good game.
It's like kept my interest as like a fighting game player.
Yeah.
Who's like kind of smash adverse. Like it worked out. Yeah, I had a good time playing it with my son and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you could say it's the best game in that it's probably the best Smash clone that has ever existed.
Yeah.
I don't know about my question is like Rumbleverse. Like, is that the best at anything?
It's maybe not the best, but it's garnered the attention of the fighting game community.
Yes, the
in a
FGC
way-
loves it. I put it on here because of that.
Like loves it, and this is like one of the most disappointing things that I've encountered this year is that I did not get into it for whatever reason.
And I really wanted to. I put this on here, and I really wanted to get on here, and I kind of, I don't know what it is. I think the bouncing off of it is I went in there, I played, and my first couple matches, I just got wrecked, and I'm like, oh, I'm already playing against like the really good people who understand the underlying mechanics here, and there's clearly a pathway for me to get there, but it's intimidating, and I mean, I don't know, I'm holding it against the game, whatever, but I think it's clearly good at what it's trying to do. It's just, it is doing a very specific thing that probably pushes a wider audience away.
Yeah.
So you think Rumbleverse cut?
Sure.
I'm okay with cutting it. We talked about that's kind of like really needed to do for Rumbleverse.
I want to bring up one thing about Multiverses, and then we can cut it. I think it's probably the best game to feature LeBron James this year.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Worth mentioning.
NBA
Is he not in
2K.
Fortnite?
That's truth.
No, he is not, to
No.
my knowledge, in Fortnite.
That's
no.
surprising.
Yeah. Because NBA 2K22, the most notable
bueno.
character from that is Jake from State Farm.
Cool.
Since
Very
this is
cool.
best game you bounce off of, I didn't hear a ton of like overwhelming support for Tunic in terms of like, I think we all respect it. It's a good game.
It
I
fizzles
really like
out.
Tunic.
It's not a bounce off, right? It's one that fizzles in the
Right.
second half, I think, at the
Man,
worst.
I just felt like for me it was a bounce off because it had so many
Oh,
things
yeah.
that I feel like I should have been. That should have been my jam. Like I love Zelda shit. I love puzzle shit. I
Yeah.
love like games that don't hold your hand and you have to really figure it out yourself and that sort of like puzzle aspect to it. And I was just like I felt so sad because it's like why don't I like this? I hate myself for not liking this.
No, I feel the same exact way. Absolutely.
And I do like the game a lot, but I don't think it's like a top 10 for me this year.
And I also
the
just
fact
feel
that-
left out because so many people like it. I feel like FOMO about not liking it.
And I think since no one here has like a very strong Tunic view, I think maybe we take it off of best game to bounce off.
Tunic's probably in my top 10, if not the top half.
Mine.
But I mean, I'm the opposite in this case, right? Like I stuck with it and like I marathon through it. So that's like the antithesis to this category. So I think I feel comfortable cutting it from this.
I'm aligned with Jan there, yes.
I think this is another game that is really, really high on my top 10. Is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I don't know how many people here other than Jeff Grubb.
I put it on here.
I don't have 120 hours to devote to a game anymore.
That is the thing, right? I 100% understand bouncing off of it.
Love this game, and I put 10 hours into it, and I'm like, I get it, and I'd either have to commit so much of my life to continue to play it, or I could just accept that 10 hours was really fun and move on. Does that count as a bounce off? I'm literally asking. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I have a live fact check just come in. Someone from Epic just messaged me and said LeBron is in Fortnite. God damn it!
Really?
Oh,
wow.
Mr. Epic just messaged you.
Epic.
Eric
no, Mr.
Epic?
Games. Mr. Games.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Called
Tim
it. I
Sweeney
knew
and
it.
his tree fort was texting him.
I haven't seen a ton of athletes in there. There's Priest Holmes.
Patrick
What's the
Mahomes.
Chiefs guy? Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of soccer guys that I don't know if they're real or if they're fake soccer guys.
John
but
Cena's an athlete.
He's a sports
yes, he
entertainer.
is. Yes, yeah, sports
Athlete.
entertainer. He's a
You're
superstar.
a wrestler.
He's a superstar.
Yeah.
He's an actor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's a Renaissance man.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
All-time
Best
Make-A-Wish
Renaissance man
waiter.
2022, John Cena.
But
We could cut
Every year.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I liked it for this category, but after actually talking all these other ones out, it's not going to make it.
yeah. I don't know how much support because it's high on my list, so I'm not qualified to fight for it here. Yeah.
Let me bring this up and see what this crew thinks.
Ooh.
Sifu
Yeah.
is a game that everyone I've talked to that played it likes that game a lot and thinks it's really cool, myself included.
Yep.
I don't know a single person that beat that game
Jason?
because
no one
it
has.
is
My-
hard as
no.
fuck.
Yeah, myself included. They've added some difficulty options, post release, which is great. So I will go back to it, absolutely. But no, this is why I like this game in this category is because this game like fucking speaks to me on so many levels. It really
Same.
does, and it got to a point where it was just too fucking hard, or I got to a point where it's like, well, shit, I died twice in this run. I can do better than that. So I had the paralysis that like Jeff Grubb did with like Neon White. So I stopped playing it for a while, and eventually you lose your muscle memory, and you once you stop playing it, it's hard to get back to. So this is one of my favorite games this year for sure, but it's also one that I bounce off of.
Yeah.
I think
And
it's
also, like, if it's best game you bounce off of, I feel
Yep.
like this hits both. Like,
Yep.
you and I, it sounds like we're the exact same way. We both really like this game, but we both bounced off pretty hard.
Totally.
So, like, I think that fits this category maybe better than anything here.
I like
Yeah,
these.
I like it
I like
here a
these
lot.
three, and I'm going to add a new one here: Sifu, Live Alive, and Sparks of Hope. The Mario plus Rabbids one, which
Yeah.
I started and I bounced off it, and I really want to go back. I really do want to keep playing it, but I keep bouncing. This happened like 3 times, starting up and just bouncing off of it. I think there's something there. But I don't know. Did anyone? You said, Lucy, you bounced off it?
I did because it was end of October. So what else was coming out?
it was like a
yeah.
flood
everything.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Everything.
I feel
Yeah.
like with that one, I bounced off of the first one pretty hard. You know, I got maybe halfway through the first one and bounced off. It just wasn't really gripping me as much. This one, I played through to the end. I did not expect to. I thought for sure it's like, okay, I'm going to play 10 hours of this game and stop playing. I went all the way to the end, reviewed it. I really, really enjoyed it.
Wow.
So I would definitely argue for like the original game in a category like this.
Well, I think I would.
This year,
I argue that like it's better, and so there's less of a reason for me to bounce off. So it's like the best game I bounced off of. I feel like, honestly.
sure.
But I think it's Sifu and Live Alive for sure. Does anyone want to argue against Live Alive making the list?
No,
They both fit the category so
yeah.
well, I think.
like the stories in Live Alive is just very enticing, but it's one of those things where it's like like I wish, like I do want to come back because everything there like had its hooks in me. There's so much of it, and it winds up being such an intense and an involving game that I don't see myself coming back. But from what I did play,
it's up there. So I think Live Alive and Sifu, definite strong top 2.
One other one. Did anyone that Final Fantasy character action game?
Strangers of Paradise is the best game of the year. What are you talking about?
I bounced off that one. I didn't love it though. That's probably what.
I didn't start. I forgot that was.
Yeah, I
this
didn't
year.
play it.
Oh, don't make me cause chaos. Don't make me pull out my crystals
shit.
here.
Oh shit!
Here he comes.
It's only day 1.
The chaos boy.
I can't bust out my gimmick this early.
Oh
no.
He's got a boy's got a gimmick.
But I mean, if it's going to wind up being in a category and winning, I'm down with it. If y'all want to get some chaos, you know, that dude listens
your
to
winner here is got to be
best
Sifu or
game.
Live Alive. As no one has
best
anything bad
game.
to say about these games, but several of us bounced off of both of these.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like
but
too
what is
many
that
of us
third?
completed Elden Ring and Neon White for them to be on here.
Yeah, I beat Elden and Neon, and they're both like high up on my top 10
And I
here.
feel like, in addition, the people that did bounce off want to go back to it and seem like they might be able to complete it if they just
Yeah, it's not
had
even a
more
bounce.
time
It's
to
just
devote
it's
to
in the
it.
active queue of part of our brains,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I feel like that's not a
That's-
true bounce off.
That is
Agree.
100% Sifu for me. Like I want to go back to it, but
Same.
yep.
Do we take off Elden and Neon?
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, I do think Sparks of Hope can make it, but if anyone else has any, we could bring back some of the other ones. But I'm totally happy if Sparks of Hope makes this.
Lucy and Grub both bounced off that. Okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm
Sparks
fine
of
with
Hope is a
cutting Elden
good.
and Neon.
Yeah,
Mm.
Sparks of Hope can hang.
Okay.
So the winner, we have to decide. I think it's either Sifu or Live Alive. My vote would go towards Sifu.
Same.
I played it, bounced off it, enjoyed it, bounced off of it. So yeah,
Seems like that's like half the skull at least had that.
Yeah,
experience.
They
I had that.
they have a Power Ranger skin in it. It got me to buy it and download it. It got very difficult. I bounced off of it, but from what I did play, shit was hell sick.
yeah, it's cool.
So like
Yeah.
I
I'm
haven't
hitting
played.
Control B. I'm hitting
Haven't
Control
played
B.
any of these.
Yeah, just do it.
Folded.
Done.
Done.
Winner.
Congratulations,
that.
Sifu.
Yes.
There you go, Sifu.
Best game, Sifu. Let's go.
No, Jason,
All right.
there's more
Parentheses
parts
that
of
you
that
bounced off of.
category. The winner of best game you bounced off of is
Oh,
Sifu. Runners up being Live Alive and Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
And there it is.
There it is, folks. Gosh.
Good games all.
Very good games. Each year, I think we all go through this where, oh man, what are we going to talk about for Game of the Year? What even came out this year? And then a bunch of good shit did.
It's a ton
Yeah,
of
there's
games.
a lot of games. Yeah.
Except
Yep.
for when Uncharted 2 won Game of the Year.
What are you
Hey.
guys talking about? That game ruled when it came
It's a
out.
great game.
What else came out? Okay, anyway. Jess, if you could please change the
my Game of the
slide
Year.
on the screen there.
I'm on it.
Thank you,
I was waiting
Jess.
for. I'm sorry, we're not supposed to acknowledge it, but you said that, and I was waiting for Mike Minotti to get mad in chat because he loves Uncharted too. That's like his whole
He
personality.
immediately just
Great
went.
fucking
"What?"
game.
Yep.
Mike Minotti, we're friends. We can get past this. All right, we can grow.
don't know,
we can grow in spite of this. The next category for today, day one of the Giant Bombs Unexpected Metaverse Pivot Palooza, the G
Rolls
Bump
off the tongue. Come on.
G Bump
Yeah,
2,
really.
is Best Vampire Survivor's Weapon.
Garlic.
Nice.
Oh,
Garlic gang, rise up.
Let me read off the nominees, which is
For the record, no evolutions. Base
no
weapons.
evolutions. Base weapons here. Base weapons.
Yeah, we don't believe in evolution. We
Exactly.
believe in the Bible.
Oh my god.
King Bible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the King
yeah,
Bible.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I
'cause that's-
specifically.
Yeah. King
The
Bible
weapon in the game,
superiority.
everybody. Yes.
The nominees for Best Vampire Survivor's Weapon is the Whip, the Magic Wand, Knife, Axe, Cross, King Bible, Fire Wand, Garlic, Santa Water. Is it Santa Water?
Yeah.
Rune Tracker or Rune Tracer. Oh, Jesus Christ. That wasn't even a bit. Lightning Ring, Pentagram, The Birds, The Guns, Songs of Mana, Shadow Pinion, Clock Lancet, Laurel, The Blue Whip, and Bone.
These are also all Alfred Hitchcock movie titles.
Yeah.
Turns out.
I feel like you can very easily get rid of a bunch. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Bone.
Clock
Who's
Lancet,
picking?
right?
Who's
Block
picking
Lancet,
knife?
get out of here.
yeah,
No,
bone,
no, let's-
knife standard is not great. but-
Yeah,
Hang on,
knife
let's clarify
evolved
here.
though.
So nothing can no evolutions can even play into this. So like the Clock Lancet, very important if you mix it with the rings. Does not count. We're talking base and any upgrades you can do to the base.
Yeah, the upgrades count, just not when it involves by combining with other things. Okay.
So Clock Lancet.
I haven't played a ton of Vampire Survivors, but the whip, is that a good weapon? It doesn't seem like a good weapon.
Good when you get two of them.
Library.
Okay.
Because it's horizontal and it goes.
Yeah.
Not get rid of whip.
Oh. Get rid of whip? Okay.
Not getting rid of whip. We're not getting rid of whip.
Not getting rid of whip.
Not
What
getting
about
rid of whip.
No, I think it's the meat and potatoes, and I think if you don't have whip in this game, it's not even fun
Especially
anymore.
once you get the two of them in stereo.
Oh, when you well, no evolution stuff.
No
That's
evolutions.
not, that's an
right?
evolution.
That's part of the upgrade, though, right?
Well, the
you
blue
add
whip
more.
mixed with the, you got to get the whip and the hollow heart and the, that's a whole thing.
No, you get like
No,
the
whip-
wheel and left, right. It's just part of the upgrade path.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yay.
So, okay, we'll keep whip. Clock Lancet, can I take off?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Yeah.
That's the
That's
freeze
just
time.
freezes things.
Oh, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah,
use it then.
that's
It's
bad.
not as fun.
Shadow
Yeah, it can
Pinion,
bite.
I don't love.
I don't
Yeah,
like
I
that
like-
one at all.
Makes the drills behind you, and then when you stop moving, it shoots them. It's just too much. It's too much
Okay.
thinking.
I straight up don't like that one.
I don't either. I've I don't know if you guys have unlocked the seal where you can go to your collection and just straight up put an X on it and it never shows up in your runs. I got Shadow Pinion sealed. It never
that's
shows
cool.
up.
Man, I gotta do that. Okay.
It's a controversial one because I know there's people that like it. I feel like Rune Tracer is very inconsistent.
I don't like Rune Tracer.
I don't love it.
like Rune Tracer.
I like it a lot, but it's very
It
inconsistent.
gets
Sometimes you
good
just watch
later,
it. Yeah.
but like it can kind of drag down your run if it's like
Yeah.
the only offensive weapon you really have at the start. So I don't think it's as good as the other things on the list.
Should we cut it?
I think so.
Sure.
Okay.
I would also
Similarly-
make the argument for Cross.
Yeah, I don't love it.
Cross is annoying.
Well,
And
can
same
you
with,
describe Cross
Ron.
again? I'm struggling to place
Cross is
it.
it throws it to the closest one to you and then boomerangs away.
It's like the
So
Ninja Gaiden thing that you can like jump
Yeah,
over. It basically, like,
Get rid of Cross because there's a better one that's kind of similar.
Yeah.
I would say I like the King Bible a lot, but I would say let's get rid of it because Garlic is a
No.
much better version of the King
You
Bible.
heard it
Garlic's a
here,
better
everybody.
version of
Dan
it.
says get rid of the Bible.
I mean, we've been
We're
saying
all
that.
on there.
Oh,
Fuck Horizon
King
Forbidden
Bible.
West. Get rid of the King Bible.
No. Bible's awesome.
I like the Bible.
It's good.
Oh,
Jess?
chat is lighting up at this, by the way. This is
The Bible's great. No, I mean,
I
hang
think-
on, don't take that out of context.
Yeah, but the point of Garlic and the Bible being similar, I think, is valid.
I pray to both. I pray to both.
I think it's
I
too soon to
worship
take
garlic,
them off
in a
because
way, yeah.
I think it's too soon to take one of these off.
Okay,
Listen,
fair enough.
it takes
Better ones.
it takes a lot for me to say this as a Muslim, but I do like the Bible a lot. In this.
clip it.
Yeah, I understand.
Maybe we keep it. Well,
let me
let's
say
keep
this.
it. Let's keep it.
Let's give it an I would say get rid of Pentagram. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Pentagram
Easy.
No.
my God.
Pentagram at least early is so
Yep.
risk reward and it can sometimes not be worth it
It
until
will
just really
snatch
need
a
to-
treasure chest from your
Yeah.
fingers. It
Yeah,
is
right.
the worst
Yeah.
feeling in that game.
Yeah.
Birds are dumb. Get rid of the birds.
Hey.
Can we
Yeah,
go to
I
Pentagram?
don't
birds?
care for the birds.
Hey.
Yeah.
I don't
birds
believe
suck.
in birds.
So we're
Okay.
yay Bible, boo Pentagram. Is that what this crew says?
Yes.
It breaks my heart.
And
Okay.
boo birds?
Our Catholic website says that. Yes.
I grew up Catholic. I'm allowed to say it.
Same too. I went to Catholic school.
Hey, there we go. The Catholic majority.
Very
The Catholic.
Catholic crew for the most part.
Santa
I grew up
Water
Lutheran.
is good.
I like
but
Santa Water.
The problem is
Oh.
you're always moving. So I feel like
Yeah.
you're undone by the movement. It's good if you like sit in place and tank, but
But that's not
I don't
the game.
think it works. No,
It's
you've
a
got
good
like
it's a good third weapon, which I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good 1-2s on here.
yeah,
You're
like
very
it
at
comes
the
out.
whims.
It comes out and it's basically off screen almost immediately.
I want to be full disclosure. I didn't even include the Gata Amari, the cat, or whatever that stuff is that the dog farts out, because what the fuck do those even do? So the cat is just confusing, and the dog fart is not great. So I didn't even put those on.
That's fair.
Haven't
Hope
even
everyone's okay
unlocked the
with that.
dog fart yet.
Dog
The
fart
dog fart
is
just makes
not
the plants
great.
grow or something. It's weird.
That's just
Spoilers
science.
for dog farts. Gee.
I'm gonna make a move where, okay, for the longest time I didn't know you could upgrade weapons in Vampire Survivors, so I was only ever playing with the base weapons.
Oh boy.
So I think a strong lock is the whip, and a strong cut is the axe.
Yeah, axe is too directional. It's strong, but
No,
too
the
directional.
axe is so good.
So
You
the
gotta
axe,
think
the
about
axe
it.
very
Like,
reveals-
it'll be
powerful.
under the stuff. It's not great on
Yeah,
the
but
library
it-
or any
But
horizontal
it
stuff.
clears a path.
but
the
it's like
axe is very, very good.
Only
Yeah.
up.
I'm
Only
really
up
into the
and
axe. I
kinda
love the
down.
whip too. I just don't know if I can make this trade. I really like the
If
axe.
clearing the path is an argument, I mean, the knife, it directly clears
Yeah.
the path wherever you're going.
Good point.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like it can
I
take
don't care.
multiple hits to kill something with the knife. Like the
For
axe
what
is
it's
just
true.
wiping around, and
the axe-
especially
When
if
it
you're
goes
like,
through multiple enemies, that's kind of awesome.
Jess, you were going to say?
For what it's worth, I would cut both the knife and the axe. I don't think they rank
Oh.
like
The
as
knife
best
definitely is getting
weapon.
cut. Knife's getting cut, not
Like
axe.
they're not top 3.
Okay, we're
Like,
not cutting
no.
either of those yet. Let's hold on those two.
Copy.
Are there any other birds? Can we cut the birds?
Yes, I
I think
think
Yeah,
birds
get rid of
will
the
go,
Let's
yeah.
cut the
I don't care
birds.
for the birds.
Okay.
I feel like I
Oh,
feel like
Laura.
I can nominate one to be bolded, not bolded, but to definitely stay, and that is the guns.
The guns are pretty good.
They are
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're good.
I think we can take the bone off.
the bone
Yeah.
sucks. Yeah.
We take
It's
the
not
bone.
like
It
We
bounces
don't
around
like
all fun,
boning.
but-
We don't like
yeah.
boning.
Mhm.
This is
We're
a Bible.
No
anti-boning.
bonings,
Yeah.
pro Bible over here.
Yes.
No
Until
boning
marriage,
till marriage.
and then boning's okay. But
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah,
okay.
Yep.
So
Even
all right.
then.
Yeah, it's more for kids. It's kid purposes. Yeah. All right.
This is a family
Laurel.
website.
Let's cut that.
Remind
Let's
me what
cut
the Laurel
Laurel.
does.
Yeah, what's
It's just like
Laurel?
a shield thing. It's like a shield that operates on a cooldown.
Yeah, unless you
Yeah.
tank
Yeah.
damage.
That's for
okay.
cowards. Get rid of it.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So
And it shouldn't
the-
be a weapon. Shouldn't be a weapon. It's in the weapon slot. It's not
Hey,
offensive at
Captain
all.
America would argue differently.
So I don't think I've unlocked the blue whip yet. What does that do?
It is. It just goes in front of you, but it's like it just does like a bunch of really fast little like. It's pretty cool. It feels good,
helpful.
but I don't think it's as good as the standard whip because that's got the
Really?
forward back.
Oh.
Yeah. The hitbox is smaller on the blue whip, you're saying?
Yeah, because it's just going in front of you, but it is
Yeah.
like multiple hits at a time.
But
which
it's not a
feels pretty
stereo whip.
cool.
But like crowd control wise, that doesn't sound as preferable as
It's
the
not.
whip
It can be
does.
really helpful if you like have frozen enemies and you're trying to kill like a mid boss or something. And you just stand in front of it and you're just like "fuck you." It's pretty good for that.
Eh,
Knife should go. Why is it still there?
I don't know why knife or axe
Yeah,
is
let's-
still here.
Yeah, I think the knife
Get
can
these
go.
out of here.
Get
I'd
knife
get rid
out
of
here.
magic wand before knife. I'd say that's my next
Really?
cut.
Yeah,
We can- I'm okay with that.
Wand,
slow.
unless you have the guy who gives you one extra projectile and then the projectile
Or
thing.
the duplicator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the duplicator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say get rid of wand.
It fusions with a lot of things, but
But we're fine with cutting wand.
Yeah. What about fire wand? Because also that can be a
Kinda the
little
same thing.
random.
Yeah.
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 mhm.
It's
Well, if we're
powerful,
talking
but it's-
random lightning ring too.
Lightning
Like,
ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like lightning.
But I
ring.
like lightning ring.
It's
Yeah,
really
I think
Cool.
lightning's cooler.
I
Yeah.
mean, lightning
I'd say let's
is
cut
pretty
fire wand.
sick.
Are we fine with cutting fire wand?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, yeah.
Okay. Lightning ring's cool because it's just like, you can get so focused on your own little area around your character, and every once in a while, fucking lightning bolts come down randomly and just fuck up random things far away.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thanks, lightning bolt. That's a really cool feeling. I would not cut it yet. Mana, man, all these are good.
Yeah.
Why is this such a hard category? What have we done to
Because all
ourselves?
this,
And it's a
There's a
good
lot of
video
weapons.
game. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
What-
And I
why
think
did we
all
do
of
this?
us, I think all of us do have very, very different play styles and approaches to approaching
And
this.
preferences,
You know,
yeah.
so I think I think it's a very strong category. Is there one we want to for sure bold, perhaps?
garlic.
Guns.
Garlic.
Guns, yeah.
Garlic.
Garlic?
Garlic and guns. Ooh.
Garlic.
Who
Here's
just
the thing.
took off?
Garlic is
Goodbye.
what happened?
Someone flew away.
Oh dear.
Jan, you flew away and then you died.
You okay?
I was stretching my legs, just stretching my legs.
Are you okay?
No, it's okay. When the Green Ranger dies, he comes back as the White Ranger. Don't worry about it.
That's,
Jan.
that's Lord Dracon. He's the evil Green Ranger.
Here's the thing about garlic. All right, it's extremely useful up top because like the swarms of bats, that is like one of the first like best feelings you can have playing this game. It's like, oh, I can just walk through these motherfuckers. But then there's also the stuff where like if you are in the bone zone where there's a lot of projectiles,
Bone zone,
it
yeah.
shields you from
Boy, am I.
projectiles. So it's super fun.
Yes.
It's super useful for various different purposes. When you combine it with stuff and you get the area up and everything, you really feel like you have like this aura of protection around you. Like garlic, I think might be my number one.
And I think it has the more useful fusion. I know we're not talking about unions and fusions, but like I think when it combines with like the the pomelo, like having an aura around you that kills things and also heals you is like
Yeah.
irreplaceably a good fucking thing. So like I'm big team
Yeah.
garlic.
I think it's the best feeling. Like when you go through those swarms or when that skeleton wave comes at 11 minutes and you got like a big beefy garlic going on and you're just eating through those skeletons. Like I think that is the best feeling that a weapon gives you.
Doesn't garlic have knockback too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is useful. I mean, I am pro garlic.
Yeah.
I love garlic, but I also I love the guns.
I do too.
A lot of things that can be clipped out from this.
Yeah, you love Bibles and guns.
I love Bibles and guns.
I mean, that's what
I think the
GG
guns-
stands for: garlic and guns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Considering the strength of some of these other ones, I do like the knife, but I would be fine cutting it because I know
You're
some
gonna.
people
There's no way Knife's gonna make it
I
now.
don't.
Yeah.
Knife's
Hey,
gotta go.
Jan, I feel like we're gonna have to
Knife's
make an alliance to get
done.
Whip on there.
Let's
Oh,
get
I
Blue Whip
think,
out of there.
I think Whip is a strong contender.
Me too.
I think it's a strong 3, if not like a
No.
good high 4.
Listen, I know, but like, if garlic and guns are already making it, I need Whip on there. That's where I'm at.
Here's what I'm suggesting as the 3. Whip, garlic, and guns.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
yeah.
I
Song
like
of
that.
Bana. Song of Bana over Whip.
No.
Jeff, you're too big on the side to side. The Song of Mana is the up and down. There's more verticality in this game than there is horizontality.
What the hell are
Is
you
that a word?
talking? I don't. Is that true?
Horizontality?
Yeah, because like
Not a word. So
I feel like I go up and down a lot more. Gallo Tower. I think there's a
Oh.
lot of going up and down in this game.
Library, though, that's just left and right.
Yeah.
Yep, I know.
And yet the Song of Mana still holds its own in that pretty horizontal level
Yeah.
because it's wide enough. Like the pillar
Yes.
is wide
Well,
enough.
I mean,
that you're still being protected.
Here's my argument as to why the whip should stay is that it is the very first weapon you use with the very first character you have from the base game,
And
that-
sucks.
and it works. It continues to work and
Yeah,
be
it-
reliable as
it's
you
never not
progress
useful.
through.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate it.
I really,
I
I
hate it.
don't.
It's the worst.
It's one of the worst things.
It's too limiting.
No.
To say,
I feel like
to say,
it-
that to say that the whip is more useful than the King Bible is batshit.
Here's
Like,
an argument. The whip doesn't stretch to the full edges of the screen. The Song of Mana goes all the way up and down. Now I know
Well,
it's a
because
widescreen game.
it's a widescreen game.
Yes. but still, I feel like the whip, if you change that 90 degrees, I don't think the whip would reach all the way top and bottom.
Yeah, but
I
if you
think the
stand at
Song
the
of
top
Mana
of the
stretches.
screen, the axe goes
True.
all the way down to the bottom. So
And
we're
if you
we're
tilt
covering
your
on
head,
verticality.
it's
So let's go with the
even more
axe instead.
The axe is unpredictable. It's got an arc to it, and you don't know which way it's
Yeah,
going to go.
okay,
out.
but
The
it's
Song of
not-
Mana,
okay.
up and down, straight as an arrow.
A best Vampire Survivors weapon, I think. Can we? It is best. Also needs to be fun to use. I think the axe is
Done.
Garlic, you're not even
Garlic.
using it.
Oh,
It's
but you're
passive.
not
These
using
are fun to
garlic.
eat.
Garlic is passive as shit.
The guns are fun to use because they're in the X, and then you just go up and down and you make your own path. The guns do it all.
Jason, you just said none of these are fun to use.
Because you're not pressing anything. You're just
Yeah,
standing
but like
there.
moving your character
let
but
you
into
walk
position to
around
use it
and
is more fun.
Jason has a very valid point. Maybe we just throw this category away.
yeah.
Walk through a swarm of bats, you feel like a god.
That's true. I think.
Can we bring the birds back so we can get rid of them again? That felt good.
That did
that
feel
was
good.
nice.
I think.
Fuck those birds.
Fuck the bird.
I think we can take off lightning ring based off of the arguments I've heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
The randomness,
It's
yeah.
Fine.
it's good. It is good.
I think we
Lightning
can
blue
take.
whip.
We could take off the blue whip.
All right.
Blue whip.
Take off that axe. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with you.
get rid of
Yes.
the axe. Come on.
Okay, fine. But then Whip's got to make
much
it.
are
I'm
you-
sorry.
Come on. Come on.
We're
He's in the
axing
pocket
the
of Big
axe.
Whip.
Yeah.
Song
I'm
of
not-
Bana is so much
not-
better than the whip.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Better than the guns, even.
I think I
Just-
take away the Bible first.
Oh, let's not say things we're
Let's
gonna
get rid of the. Let's get rid of the Bible.
Yes,
let's just
throw
do
the
it.
Bible away.
Between
Let's
the
get rid of
whip,
the Bible.
Oh
actually,
my god.
Can we get rid of the Bible?
Sacrilege. No,
Always.
I like it.
I don't know. I feel like if you get rid of the Bible, we're now fighting for the future of America with like, but no
Garlic.
Bible, but guns. Like, holy shit!
Is the Bible
Well,
necessarily
could be
any
better.
better for the youth of
It's
America?
true. I mean, it's true.
It's true. That is true.
Let's get them into S&M with whips.
It would feel really good just to throw away a Bible. So,
Wow, you're not allowed to say that. You
You know
I
what?
most certainly am.
You know what? I didn't see it going this way, but I will take it. Let's throw away the Bible.
Throw
Okay.
away
Alright.
the Bible.
Do
I
it.
am deleting
I will
the Bible.
agree.
Cam and I would like to both put hands on it as it goes
Yeah.
into the
All right,
deep.
Is it-
so
is it being
if anyone
thrown
wants
away?
to, make
Because
your
the
peace
next
with the
step-
Bible. Make your peace with God.
This feels
Here we
good.
go.
All right.
Goodbye,
This
Bible.
feels good.
Gone.
Now we
Fresh.
enact
Gone.
Sharia law. Let's
There we go. There we go.
God.
There
That
is no
felt
God
good.
now.
Well, that means I
Alright.
can go 1,000,000% in on garlic. You have unleashed
I just want to
a
highlight.
version of me that's even more militant.
I just want to highlight that in the Giant Bomb universe now, the Bible does not exist, but the Quran does. So let's go.
Ironically. I would say we got to get rid of the whip or the guns.
Mm-hmm. Whip.
No. Yeah, get rid of the whip. Get rid of the whip. Get rid of the whip.
You know what? Lucy
rid of the
has
whip.
so much passion for guns.
I
don't
make
think
it.
he
Is
does
it?
love her guns. All right.
Yes.
Guns and
Definitely.
Garlic
Lucy
needs to
loves
be like a
guns.
band name or
Are
something.
you sure you're not an
so.
American citizen?
I mean, I'm trying.
Yeah.
working on
Do you
it.
think this would help?
Actually,
Fight for
yeah,
the
if
Bible
we-
to come back.
Yeah,
We
you
need to
should.
bring back the Bible and support guns, and we'll get.
clip this out. You're gonna go front of the line.
Yeah, put this in your your portfolio for getting citizenship.
Your
this
portfolio
argument.
for
Yeah.
citizenship. Yes.
You have to make a deck. There you go.
I just
Yeah.
want to live in a world where a whip is an effective weapon.
It
That to me
isn't
is
in this
beautiful.
one.
It is.
I think it's
do
effective.
agree with
I
that.
like it.
Selena Kyle.
Oh yeah.
But I
but
recognize
Vampire
that is a fantasy
Survivors.
that's not possible. So
Okay.
I'll go back
I
to
mean,
Castlevania.
maybe it speaks more to what you and I desire. Jeff
Yeah,
Grubb.
I think yes. Our own
Yeah, no, and,
proclivities.
if you desire to spit into the face of Indiana Jones, go for it.
Yeah,
He's
Indiana
the
Jones
youth
overrated. Get
absolutely
rid of the
prefers
whip.
that.
I mean, that guy steals from
Yeah, he
people,
just- yeah.
you know.
He
So
does.
Yeah,
He's-
he gets what he deserves.
Yeah.
So
okie dokie,
Okay, so-
Mr. Jones.
So whip is gone.
Whip is
Yeah.
gone.
Whip is
garlic,
gone.
Whip is
garlic,
gone.
guns, and Song
That's all
of
that I
Metal.
wanted to see happen.
Our long
It's
night
gone.
You
is
agent
over.
of chaos, Jason.
Wow,
It's not that great.
that's how you do me. Wow.
I just can't vote for guns as number one. It just feels
It feels icky.
bad.
It feels icky.
in the vampire game. We're saying
With no
come
vampires
on.
in it.
Yeah, well, there's definitely vampires.
Or there-
One vampire.
outside of the title.
Ghosts and skeletons. I didn't see a
It's a
vampire.
spooky
in that.
man in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Show me a vampire in that game outside
I mean,
of the title
Lou,
screen.
what is a vampire, right? I mean, come
Well,
on.
Blade is
Well,
not
you're
in
a
this
little
game.
Pile of
Motherfucker with a
secrets. Oh wait,
mustache?
that's a man.
Blade's not a vampire. He's a daywalker. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Define vampire. Okay, we can't do it.
We have a late addition to the list. Jeff Grubb has added "fuck the birds." Okay,
Yep.
we can
Correct.
take that off.
I
That's
thought.
correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fuck the birds could be our winner. It could happen.
I think, considering that there are no vampires in this game, just imagine how powerful the garlic would be if one showed up. It's already
DLC
so
coming.
good.
Ooh,
There's DLC
okay.
coming?
Maybe
Those are
everything is a
definitely
vampire.
vampires.
Maybe everything
not.
is a vampire then, because garlic is hurting it.
Yeah.
I also want to pose, like, not only does garlic fucking rule, I would like to say the sprite rules because it kind of looks like a scrotum.
It does.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
It's
it
like
does.
balls.
Okay.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does.
Yeah.
Mm.
Best
Yeah.
item.
Full
Yeah.
scrot. Full
You
scrot.
get excited because you're like, oh, I
Never
picked
go
up a
full
scrotum,
scrot.
and then you go, oh no, it's garlic. That's good too.
What would the
Balls.
The range
All
on the
right.
guns, though.
The range on the guns,
The
You're
range
gonna
on the
vote.
guns.
You're gonna vote
The
for guns.
range on the
over here?
garlic can get insane.
but not
Yeah.
as much as the guns.
I mean, I kind of want to vote for the guns, but I would love it if we could eliminate the Bible and guns.
Yeah, that would be
yeah,
Well,
I
what
feel
do
like
we
we're
do?
It's gonna
doing
be
a
in the top
service
three.
if we.
So
Yeah,
let's
guns look like
bring
it already
back.
made it.
So let's bring back the whip.
Yeah.
No.
No.
We're picking a winner now out of these, right?
Yes.
Gotta be garlic.
I like garlic.
You know,
I
I haven't-
want guns, but I feel like we're
I want
outvoted.
guns, but I
And
will
also,
concede.
garlic
but
is
I'll remember
awesome in
this.
real life.
Yeah,
Guns
so
are
are
easier to
guns.
obtain
That
than
does
garlic.
not
Delicious.
count.
Yeah.
That does not count.
Am I bolding it?
Bold the garlic.
Go on then.
Bold.
Garlic. Yes.
All right, folks.
Garlic gang has risen up as I
Hell
Garlic
yeah.
gang.
Full
Hell yeah.
GGs across the board. Oh God, what is? Okay, Jeff Grubb is transformed
Where is
Into a gun.
into
Oh.
a gun.
he?
Is this a threat?
He's
Oh,
pointing-
God.
This is our winner. It's our
pointed-
champion, apparently.
He's shooting straight at the audience
Oh,
here.
it's not our winner? Okay, never mind. I wasn't paying attention because I was just lamenting whip.
Change the
I don't
vote.
think there's a whip.
There's probably an Indiana Jones skin in Tower Unite, but that doesn't matter right now because we have
Or is it
crowned. He is in Fortnite. We have crowned the winner of Best Vampire Survivor's Weapon. That weapon being garlic. The runners-up being the guns and Song of Mana. And all right, that's two more categories in the books, folks. To
Beautiful.
recap that, let's see. Best Vampire Survivor's Weapon, garlic. The best game you bounced off of is Sifu. Best video game to stream, Neon White. And of course, who could forget, Soulja Boy presents best game for people who drink beer and get drunk or smoke weed and get high, Power Wash Simulator. Folks, that brings us to almost the end here. We have one more category.
One more category, and of day one.
Day one.
Day one. One more category of the day. And Jess, do you want to flip the screen to reveal that before we get? There we go.
I'm doing it. Gex is on it.
Gex is on it, everybody. We're gonna take one more break, and then when we come back, we will get to what might draw out the guns, the garlic, and the knives, the whip out of all of us. We'll return with best moment or sequence after this quick break. That's right. The Giant Bomb Game of the Year Metaverse Unexpected Metaverse Pivot Palooza is brought to you, and it's filmed in front of a live studio audience. That's right, folks. Thank you guys. Thank you, Cubone. Shouts out to you, Amaterasu. Thank you, Suda or Wario 64. I don't know which one of you that is. Wow, oh gosh. I guess everyone's a little bit pooped from deliberations. All right.
Hey, John.
Damn it.
Yeah.
John, check this out. Are you ready?
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Whoa. Oh my God. You just folded it into nothing.
Rock Lee is the most flexible character. That checks out. All right. To recap what we've gone through so far today, we've gone through 4 categories so far. First one being Soulja Boy presents best game for people who drink beer, get drunk, or smoke weed to get high. The winner being Power Wash Simulator. Runners up being Vampire Survivors, Goat Simulator 3. Best video game to stream. The winner being Neon White. Runners up being Fortnite and Power Wash Simulator. Best game you bounced off of. The winner Sifu. Runners up Live Alive, Sparks of Hope, and Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. The next category after that was Best Vampire Survivors Weapon, winner being Garlic, runners up being The Guns, and Song of Mana. All right, the final category of today is Best Moment or Sequence in a Video Game. It came out this year. Spoiler warnings for everyone involved here. If there is a game you have yet to finish, we will probably spoil it. Even showing these category nominees, probably spoilers in themselves. So if you want to avoid any talk over the big hits of the year, even maybe the small hits, now is probably the best time to dip, and we'll see you tomorrow. But for folks wanting to stick around and hear all the hot spoiler talk, the best moments or sequences of the year, please feel free to hang out. Oh, God. Business Sonic not doing too well. Business does not look like it's popping right now. Do we want to?
I hope you Ubered here.
Do we want to name these specific nominees as we go down the list, or?
Yes. I think we should read them all first and then go one by one.
Copy. All right. So the first nominee here we have Freeing the Jellyfish is in God of War Ragnarok.
What's the category? You didn't read the category.
I read the category several times. Best moment or sequence. The second nominee is Feeling Like a God in Vampire Survivors. Next nominee, Meeting Guernica Van Dam and Ouroboros for the first time in Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Not real words.
They're all real words.
Respect Guernica.
The time lapse in Power Wash Simulator. Realizing Neon White has boss fights. The Hole in Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Going underground for the first time in Elden Ring, getting warped across the map in Elden Ring. Act 3 in Pentiment. Heavy spoilers across the board here.
Act 3 General.
Act 3 General. Using the manual to figure things out in Tunic. The first toot in Trombone Champ. Turning into a train in Bayonetta 3. Wow, that was okay. I didn't know that happened. The moment you unlock a solution in Case of the Golden Idol. Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy intro, Joran in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and then is there more to this list?
That's it.
That's it.
No,
That's
that is
it. But I feel like we might add some more as we go along.
Yeah,
but
we
we'll figure
probably
that out.
will. Yeah. Do we want to start from the top?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we just bowl the Rykard one now?
That's the sword mouth guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real cool. That guy looks fucked up.
Okay.
The worm boy.
Who nominated Freeing the Jellyfish?
I think I did.
This is sick.
I think in a game that is not a ton stood out to me throughout that game.
Yeah.
It felt very kind of one note throughout. The jellyfish part was kind of the one part that was like, oh, okay, that's really cool, like that. And the fact that is it a side mission technically?
It's a side mission.
Side
Yeah,
mission.
I never experienced that. I had to look it up.
You
Yeah,
can
the jellyfish stuff, and then like some of the game's best stuff are in the side missions, like when that giant
Most of
whale
it, yeah.
motherfucker comes out of the water. Like, but the jellyfish thing I think was the coolest, and the fact that it is just a side thing. I really did appreciate that. So
It was so initially I had nominated God of War Ragnarok for best game I bounced off of until I saw I hunted the jellyfish sequence, and I think the stuff that transpires between Kratos and Atreus there, and like the dialogue that gets shared, was enough to push me to complete the game and power through it. I think freeing the jellyfish is a strong three.
I forget what the deal with the kid is. I just remember thinking it looked real cool when it flew up in the air and had jellyfish sex and blew up into a bunch of babies or whatever.
The jellyfish shagging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the bonding or whatever.
Bonding is what kept me in there. Okay. Also, spoilers here. If you don't do the jellyfish sequence with Atreus and you complete the game, it is a completely different dialogue that pops up in the post game.
Yeah. I think I did it with Freya.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Freya's
the video
got-
that I watched. Yeah,
Yeah, Freya has entirely different dialogue for all the subquests, which is
That's-
wild.
that's pretty crazy.
It would be weird if she didn't, because she would just keep calling you dad if it was the
Yeah,
same.
I mean, like maybe. I mean, that's fair. Like anyone calling
Daddy.
Kratos daddy and dad is probably right.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
all right. Moving on to the next nominee, feeling like a god in Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, boy.
That is specifically it's not any one particular weapon or evolution. It's just that
So now it all
moment,
works
and you know
together.
it, especially when it's like you're 22 minutes into a run, you got plenty of time to go, and you feel like you couldn't die if you wanted to. You know, you just got like 5 or 6 evolutions going. You're just destroying everything. I just killed 200,000 in one run the other day, and like you feel unstoppable.
You
And
are
it's
the
not
kill
just like
screen.
you feel that way. Like, yeah, you are the kill screen. Yeah, it's it's everything popping off in the game lends itself to really emphasizing that moment where the sound effects are just at their most slot machiney. Like they just like, oh, hey, you were gonna feel like you're in a casino, but the casino is you killing a million dudes, and that is it's awesome. It's memorable. Even if we can't like point to one moment, it's ephemeral.
It's
But
a
in that
sequence.
moment, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely a sequence.
If I'm blinking,
Sequence, yep.
if I'm blinking, I'm not doing it right. You know, I don't
Yeah.
want to blink.
So like just last night I was playing Vampire Survivors and I got the craziest possible build, and I have never gone past minute 30 because death comes for you at 30 minutes in,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, like I this whole time I've had a feeling that I can beat death, if I've got the right shit going on. I
Same.
had the right shit going on, and I was like, what's gonna happen? Death wasn't dying. A second death comes in. A third death,
Yeah.
a fourth death, a fifth death. And I'm like, what is going to happen here? They can die. And I was like, holy fucking shit. And I actually tweeted my reaction to this happening. And I did a deep gasp when that happened.
Oh yeah, you can kill death, and it
Yeah,
feels
it was pretty
really
wild.
awesome.
So that's my my speech for that. It felt crazy.
Any other accounts we want to share while we're on Vampire Survivors and feeling like a god?
Yeah, I
With
mean,
the
like
game
when you
Go
get a build where you just like as Dan said, where you don't have to move anymore and you're unkillable, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, I'm done now.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and for a game that
Laptop.
doesn't have any real story or narrative beats or anything like that, I think that's the closest thing to a moment in that is just that feeling it gives you on the right
Mhm.
run.
Okay, moving on to meeting Guernica Van Dam and Ouroboros for the first time. This is going to
Aurora
take.
Borealis.
This is
I
going
know
to
This
take
time of month.
a
I know
little.
some
I
of those
haven't
words.
I haven't started this game yet, so
This is spoilers. This is maybe within the first 10 hours, which is not even a fourth of the game.
I played it, so it is. Yes.
Yes. Okay. This requires a little bit of setup, and this may a little bit and a lot of bit of setup. First of all, Guernica Van Dam is if Macho Man Randy Savage, Jeff Grubb,
Okay.
and myself
used together.
Yes.
no.
If two of us did the fusion dance and then we used the earrings afterwards.
Yes.
Okay.
In the world of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, everyone, as it's presented so far in the game, has a lifespan of 10 years. This is an accelerated 10 years. So you pretty much would die when you're in your late 20s. And then everyone is like living like a Viking's death of like dying in glory, dying in battle. That's what you're supposed to do. These two separate teams, Noah, Uni, Lance, Mio, Ion, and Senna, they're fighting each other. It's these two groups of teens fighting each other.
They're on the opposite side of the war.
Opposite sides of the war. Trying to, and all they know is war. They know that war never changes. And then they come across this mech. And the mech looks very radically different than the rest of the technology that we see so far in the world of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And out pops out the most Carl Urban, macho man, Jeff Grubb.
I'm in. Did you say Carl Urban?
Me-looking dude. This guy has a pompadour mullet. And he is old. He is the first time we've seen a grown-ass man. And all these kids, as soon as they see him, are like, the fuck is that? Why are you old? What are these lines on your face?
Can we get a pic of? I want to see him.
Hey, Dan,
he's been up on the screen a couple times, but we can.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
tell me when he's
Funky
on.
was into it.
Giant body.
And Guernica Van Dam, he sees these kids fighting, and he knows like, oh no, they shouldn't be fighting. And then out of nowhere, a giant evil mech shows up. And he looks like the most Zone of the Enders motherfucker, and he looks like it's two people talking, and he pops down, and then there's Guernica Van Dam on screen.
That's him.
That's him.
You can tell it by the Carl Urbanness.
Is his mullet covering his face? What's going on
He
there?
has a mask on. He has a mask on.
He'll take it off in a bit.
And then Guernica Van Dam sees that these kids are fighting, and that they might be Benchenka. He sees these kids fighting, and then this evil mech comes in, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make them unite, and then he Ouroboroses them. Also, he slams them down to the ground.
Grown man beats up kids.
Moment of the year.
He Ouroboroses them, which gives them the power to fuse as Transformer robots. And then the two warring sides, Mio and Noah, they see that they have so much more in common. And then they become drift compatible. So not only have we entered Pacific Rim, Carl Urban, Metal Gear, Zone of the Enders, New Zealand, the future, the past, the present. All of this is happening, and then Guernica Van Dam gets stabbed by the giant evil robot.
No.
And it's amazing. It's all amazing.
He Obi-Wan's,
He punches the shit out of someone.
This dude is Frankie from One Piece.
This is Tam's Guardians of the Galaxy moment.
Yeah.
Right here from last year. For sure. I'm buying whatever you're selling.
I'm not even. It doesn't end yet, though.
Oh, it doesn't end.
No, there's like 50 hours post.
I love Joker from Persona 5.
90 hours. And this is only within the first 10 hours. And this isn't even the craziest shit that happens. But also, there's a moment in the fight before Guernica Van Dam interrupts them where the two main characters from each warring faction, they're like in sync with each other because they can feel each other. And you just know they might kiss.
You do know that. I knew that.
Do they kiss?
As the host, I should remind you that we should probably move on. You've just explained the entire story of Xenoblade Chronicles.
I've just explained 1 hour of it. Moving on.
Quick question.
Yes.
Guernica Van Dam, as spelled on this document, is spelled D-A-M-N, like the cool curse word. Is it spelled that way?
I think it's just
his name, or is it like Rob Van Dam?
It's Van Dam, like you know, Van
Jean-Claude.
Damme, the Jean-Claude.
JCVD.
D-A-M-M-E? Okay.
I misspelled here.
If it was actually Van Dam, like that'd be even cooler. But he does sound like a pretty cool dude.
Also,
yes, he's cool.
Chat's saying it's V-A-N-D-H-A-M.
Dom. Okay, all right.
Oh, okay.
I do want to add.
That's not as cool.
Something here that is
He's a Dom?
unrelated here. His daughter that we meet later, spoilers, is named Gondor.
Oh, there we go. Her name is Gondor Van Dam.
No! Sorry, he got stabbed.
That
isn't the first time he gets stabbed.
Fell?
That's a good question.
All right, moving on. Time lapse from Power Wash Simulator.
Yep.
This is fun.
That's very fun. Love him. All time lapses.
How you feel about it, Funky?
He's nodding.
Why does Funky look like he's driving a car?
Funky, I love Funky.
He's driving a Bubsy.
Nodding.
Driving a Bubsy. Oh boy. Put his hands on those ears and just steer.
It's his granddaughter, not his daughter.
Who added time lapse?
Yeah, who did
Me?
that?
It might have been me. I don't know.
Probably the closest thing to a moment in that game.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah, when I cleaned up
Can
that
you skip
mud.
to the time lapse so people can see? What is this?
Yeah, I mean, I thought this one did it.
No.
Well, could you explain it for the audio listener? I actually don't know what a time lapse is in
Ever?
In
Power Wash
concept
Simulator.
at all?
shit.
At all? Yeah. What do you mean?
You just mean the time lapse when you see it? Okay, I thought it was like a
Yeah.
mechanic.
Oh, no,
Sure.
no,
Okay,
no.
but that's what I mean. Okay, people might be confused. I was. So it's the little video that they show at the end where it shows a
Yeah,
quick
here it
version
is.
of you cleaning the place,
Right.
and that is very cool looking.
I
It's
think another potential one with this game is like when you've been looking for that like 0.001% forever, and you know you've got it highlighted, you know it should be blinking, and you're walking around just spraying randomly, hoping to hit it, and then finally you hear that ting, you know?
Ting. Little bit of ting. Completely different. Okay. All right.
It's nice. It's a nice like payoff for all the effort that you put in.
Realizing Neon White has boss fights is the next nominee here.
Oh, that was cool.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty sick.
Levels are good too.
Any other?
For me, I'd rather be like beating your friends in Neon White would be much more satisfying to me.
You call like the perfect run, you know, like when you just
getting the
nailed
perfect
everything
run
you're
that you've
trying
worked on for hours, and that
to.
moment,
hitting all
there-
the jumps,
there's a handful of games that actually make that feel fantastic, and this is one of them. I totally would argue for that. I think finding out there are boss fights, that's cool, but it's not so out of impossible to imagine.
It surprised me. I was
It is surprising,
I was a little
yes.
shocked. I was like,
Yes.
what the fuck? There's boss fights in this? Huh? Like,
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
This is one of the best games I bounced off of.
This game rules.
Should we relitigate that category?
No.
Okay. All right, moving on. I think this one will probably need a little bit of setup, and I'm going to assume that Jess nominated this. The Hole in Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I think the whole in Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is amazing. So Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is kind of a sequel, kind of not a sequel, but it's ribbon on sequels. And at a certain point, you learn that this is the Stanley Parable too, and it goes to this ridiculous show floor that just has a bunch of like little places to go and things to do. It's like these are the things that are gonna be in the sequel. It's gonna be crazy. There's gonna be, Chivos to get and stuff like that. And one of the things is the infinite hole. And you can fall until the end of time if you like. A shining leap forward for video games as a medium. So if you want, you can go down this hole, and it's wonderful. And as you go down this hole, the narrator gets more and more nervous that you're not warping up to the top. And then eventually, if you figure out this is not an infinite hole, who wants to fall infinitely? Do you actually want that? And it's like, okay, let's warp back to the top. You can keep going into this hole over and over and over again, and the hole gets shorter and shorter as time goes on, until you're just stuck in this little divot in the ground, and you can't jump. Stanley can't jump, and you can't return to the surface. The teleport button doesn't work anymore. And the narrator, this guy that's always around, he's omnipotent, he's always with you. He's just like, you know what? You wanted this. I hope you have a happy eternity together. I'm just going to peace out. And he goes. He leaves you. And eventually, the hole starts rumbling and falling so slowly down. This ominous, incredible, swell of music is mysteriously rising up, and you're like, what are we doing? And you kind of suffer ego death in this hole or something.
Oh shit! Jake Decker's in this game.
Nathan Fielder is in this game.
So it's playing this super dramatic music, and every time you change your perspective, it goes like da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. It's super fucking funny. And you can also change your perception instead of perspective. Let's see when this player decides to actually hit the fucking button. Not gonna do it, buddy? There you go.
Whoa, all right.
You end up changing the background. Puppies are in the background.
Is that Matthew Rory coming in, storming in now?
You can change the puppies. You can have different music. You can eventually change Stanley into different weird models of Stanley.
Oh, that one looked like claymation.
Yes,
I'm gone.
Oh no, you lost him.
Man.
But it's so weird. And then
This is
you're loving
cool.
this, and all of a sudden you wake up. You dozed off in the hole. And the narrator comes to wake you up. It's like, we can't have you drifting apart, drifting away. This hole's so fascinating. I want you to be wide awake for every second of eternity you're with this hole. So cool. You good? Stay alert. Bye again. And then it ends and you get booted back to the start. It's fucking stupid. It's hilarious. I just love this. It's a joke that keeps on
I love that.
In ways that you don't expect the joke to keep giving. Like, you think like, oh, I see where this joke is going. Like, I'm in on this joke. The whole ends eventually. Ha ha. And then like, you know, the joke keeps on evolving to a point where it's like, I don't know where it's going to go at this point. It keeps being funny. So I think like, as far as like, this is like joke of the year for me, as well as like moment of the year. So stupid.
Yeah, I love that.
That's
a good one. That's strong. Yes.
Yep, you're obsessed with holes.
A good hole. Maybe hole of the year.
Okay. Oh, easy.
Yeah. You know, it's just like, it goes with the whole, like, the thing that the Stanley Parable does in general, which is like, do gamers really want to do this? Why are you compelled to do this? Like,
think they want it.
You do it because you can. And the Stanley Parable is just about pushing boundaries for no reason other than that they're there. And I think that's just, it's a super funny, like, illustration of that.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you, Jess. Moving on to going underground for the first time in Elden Ring.
Going deeper underground.
Moment, but this is a
few
video
of
of it.
them.
Siofra River?
Noxtella,
Noxtella, that
Jan,
elevator was ridiculous.
Yes,
I can hear the audio of this person. It's really freaking me out.
So in the game, hold down Q, and there's a little volume thing on the bottom left. Turn it down.
Scared the shit out.
I turned it down on me, and I thought that would happen for all of you guys. I'm sorry.
Everyone can control it separately.
Cool.
Yeah, it can be any number of these cities where it's like there's several different wells you can go down. I think we're talking about any of the places where you can see the stars in the sky, right?
Yeah,
Like
they're all
show up
generally
on that map
connected.
underground.
Yeah. So I mean, like Noxtella is very early in the game you can find this kind of room which has a lever in it and a platform, and if you stand on it and pull the lever, it takes you down, and then you're standing on it and it keeps going and going and going, and you're like, is my game broken? But it's clearly like I'm still running around and stuff. And eventually you just emerge into this underground city that genuinely feels like it's as big as the world above it.
Yep.
And it's got its own sky, which is an artificial sky, which is basically the civilization down there created. And it's one of those moments where it's like genuinely jaw dropping to kind of emerge in that city, and the game as a whole is like massive in scale, which you can feel when you're up top, but when you go underneath and you see it, you're like, oh my god, how big. For me, it was genuinely like, I had a moment where I was playing it pre-launch, so I was reviewing it, and I was like, obviously when you're under embargo and you're on a deadline, you're trying to complete the game as quickly as possible to a degree, and you constantly think about, I think I'm 50% of the way through, I'm 10% of the way through, I'm 30%. So like when I got in that and it went down and it was like a fully rendered city or underground, I was just like my jaw was like almost on the ground. I was like, holy shit, this looks incredible. And then it hit me, there is a whole other game underneath this world. And it was like a moment of pure horror. And then it kind of like, it kind of like works within the game itself, because up until that point, you're very familiar with what's in the world and you kind of have a bit of a grasp of how to approach encounters and that kind of stuff. You come down here, completely different place, new enemies, new kind of like challenges to overcome, and then you also get one of the best spirit ashes in the game here as well.
Which one is that?
It's the clone, so
Mimic
it's
Tear.
Mimic Tear.
Amazing.
So it's the one, and it's like, it's a difficult. Also, you get the weirdest enemies. There's that. It's one of my favorite moments in a video game when you see the boulder and you're like, I know how this is gonna go.
That is a nice boulder.
And you're like, that is a boulder. I know what From Software does with boulders. So you edge closer, and then the boulder comes and it hits the wall, and then you're like, I'm safe. And then the boulder starts following you around corners and up, and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? You cannot escape the boulder. And yeah, this whole area is amazing. And then you kind of, the lore implications of it are huge. There's the whole Astal stuff, and then you realize that it's actually like connected to other parts of the world, and then there's a moment which is the most metal moment where you get into a coffin and go down a blood river, and it's there's so much in this area, and it looks incredible. Like we're all watching it inside Tower Unite, and it looks pretty amazing there. But when it happens, that reveal is like it's genuinely gorgeous. A take your breath away moment where you're like, I cannot believe they did this. This is wild.
Yeah, my brain kind of broke when I realized that there was a whole nother map, probably the same exact size or larger than the already incredibly fucked up big map I was already dealing with on the surface, and that just like boggled me.
Yeah, this is. I think this is an important one for this one because it encapsulates a lot of the best moments of Elden Ring. Like you already described a bunch of, but there's several times where you open up the map and the map zooms out. And you're like, oh, there's more to this game than I thought. And it's like that was
the map, and the map stares back.
And it stares into your soul and tells you something about yourself. And it's that's like so crucial to like capturing that. And I think this is like the best version of that, where it's like it's not even on the map. You're going. This is like a whole other layer of the map. You're going down into the map. It's. Yeah.
And it's worth noting that it's not as big as you think it is. It's actually quite a small area, but the way they present it to you and the way it's like art directed and the whole like the way you enter it, you feel as if it's an entire civilization. And that's what they wanted to go for. They wanted the narrative to be like, oh, there's an entire civilization that exists underneath it. And they construct it in a way that it's actually a small landmass. It's like not even... It's a fraction of the world above it, but it feels whole, and that's like
gigantic.
It's a little it's a little bit of magic when it happens, and you're like, oh, this is incredible.
Well, it's tough to decide because like the one I put was the next one here that is a very similar feeling, and I think I got this one before the underground one, which is like I just opened up some chest, and I can't remember if it was in Caelid or where, but it was like I was 10 hours in the game. I probably hadn't even beaten Godric or whatever yet. And it just did the thing where I open up the map. I was like, where the fuck am I? And it's like, I am like, you could like triple the height of the map. I'm all the way up here. And I was like, I had no idea there was this much map.
It actually happens like super early. It can be for a lot of people. For me, it was the first chest I opened.
Oh, wow.
And it teleported me to the hardest part of the game.
You just like pass out and wake up and there's this giant and it's like, this guy's going to kick my ass. And then he does. But then it really gives you that feeling like you had with Underground where it's like, how big is this game? How much is there that I'm not realizing at this point?
Oh, you're talking about a different one. I understand what you mean now. The one that I did.
The one that warps you up top and it's like you wake up next to
the giant. Right, yes.
Yeah. There's one early on. There's one that takes you to Caelid immediately.
That everyone, that takes you to Caelid.
Oh,
and everyone hits that one early, and it's
fucked up. It's because those like weird shrimp boys are waiting for you outside. And
yes,
like,
and like you have to kind of do a run through them, and even when you get out of there, then all of a sudden there's like an invisible guy running in front of you, and the whole world just looks completely burnt. Yeah, so it's like there's no safety here.
You teleported basically to hell. Out of nowhere. Yeah. It's like this horrible barren wasteland that's all red and fucked up. It's like, what have I done to myself?
And when you try and teleport out, it's like, nope, you cannot teleport here. It's like heartbreaking. Yeah.
Do we maybe want to combine both of those entries?
Yeah, just maybe like realizing the scope of the map.
Yeah, I like that.
And like every time you realize the scope of the map, because it keeps happening, but it's part of the same moment. Like it's a sequence of realizing how big the map is.
Because then there's that moment where you end up in the sky, and you're in the floating city, and tornadoes are around you, and you're like, "What is going on?" It's wild.
Yeah, Jesus, man, what a game!
It's just because. So my consultant has no respect for Game of the Year and is about to call, and I will be leaving for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and I assume you will all still probably be going.
We'll still be going.
We'll still be doing
but I'm just gonna put. I like a little vote for the jellyfish boys in.
Cool.
Got it.
But yeah, my doctor is about to call.
All right. Moving on to Act 3 in general, or Pentiment.
Oh my God, Pentiment!
I also love this one.
Holy shit!
Yeah, thank you, Lucy. Yes.
Somebody sell me on this game. I've seen very little of it. It's very text based.
Yeah.
It's sadly, I would say it's a very not a Jason game. But,
it's not a Jason. We'll tag team this, Jess, real quick. So basically, it is. It presents itself as a murder mystery game, and there's 3 acts where you're solving 3 different sort of things. And the third one's a little bit. We'll get into it, but your character is not someone who's trained as a detective, and so you're just kind of poking around, asking questions as best you can, and you need to be figuring out what's going on. But it's by the time you get to the third act, you begin to realize, oh, I'm not supposed to be figuring out what's going on. I'm supposed to be recognizing the patterns that have brought people to where they are in this game. And this is where everything sort of comes home to roost, and they hit the themes really hard in the third act. But it is not exactly what it's presenting itself as, and we get that in the third act. And Jess, you put this here. What moment in specifically were you thinking of?
So, and this is major spoilers.
Of course.
Yes, 1000%.
Put your fingies in your little ears for me, please, if you have any interest in this game. And I do insist you play it yourself, because oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm about to spoil it for you. Please.
It's still gonna be good.
It's still really good.
The way to get there, I feel like is enough. That spoiling this one moment, I think.
Honestly, I think it is like having a good story spoiled, where you are going to get the benefit of seeing the links as you go along, and actually being able to make those connections yourself will be really satisfying. But if you don't want to be spoiled, now is the time to stop listening.
Yeah. So, Act 1 is young Andreas Mahler. He, tries to attempt to solve this murder in this small town. Depending on how it goes, I don't know. Maybe you did, and maybe you did. I don't know. But
you won't know. You just there's a good chance you might not even know if you solved it.
Yeah. So I'm not even sure if I've solved it myself. Honestly,
it's not the point.
But like some dramatic shit happens in Act 2, where it ends up, for pretty decent reasons, the peasants burn down this monastery that you've been hanging out with and you have a history with and all that stuff, due to taxes and all sorts of real life historical reasons to do that sort of shit, honestly. But then you're an older fellow in that particular act, and I'm thinking what's gonna happen? Am I gonna come back and be an old dude in Act 3? Because I think there's gonna be a third act.
Yeah, there's gonna be a second time jump. Yeah,
another time jump. So you do all of Act 2, you're super invested in all this crazy shit. The abbey burns down, and our boy Andreas goes into the fucking fire and dies. And then Act 3 is somebody else. It's one of the children you talked to in Act 2. And I was like, holy fucking shit. It's a kid that you she's all grown up now, and she has to do some shit in this town too. But it was such a crazy situation where it's my guy just died in Act 2. What the fuck happens now?
Right.
And it turns out that this child that you got a book for her once and you treated her nice, and you're playing her now, and her personality is a little bit different based on what book you got her as a toddler. What? And all of these different tiny things you've been doing really coalesce and come crashing down in Act 3, where it's oh my god, because I told someone a story once, they have totally different beliefs now. They might die in the Inquisition in a couple years. All these little tiny insignificant feeling things set into motion extreme personality changes in these people. Totally different events have occurred in their lives and have shaped them into totally different people. And it's man, I wasn't solving a mystery. I was making an impact on the fucking world. And it's it ties in with all the stuff they were putting down about the influence of art on history, the influence of the people making the art, and how you interpret events, and how, that makes the history. It's not just the victors that tell the stories. It's the people who have heard the stories from someone else making the art that tells that story to future generations. So we basically followed 3 generations in this medieval town and realized how much you completely changed the atmosphere and the folks in it. And
do the next big spoiler, and then we'll wrap it up, because I there's some themes that connect there. But is Andreas Mahler is not actually dead.
He didn't fucking die. I fucking screamed.
Yes, me too. And you find that he's part of an explanation for why things keep appearing in the town. People hear voices from the grate, from the sewer under there, something that you explored a little bit in the earlier acts. All that stuff is incredible. But this is the game using its mechanics and where it is, and the kind of game it can be. A game where you are choosing decisions in a story, and you can kind of affect some of the way some of the characters are, but most of the things that are going to happen are going to happen. That's how these games usually work. But the game is talking about that. It's in conversation with those limitations, because it's saying, listen, you can think and obsess about what you could have done to change things, to prevent tragedies from happening, to not have solved the murder one way so that maybe an innocent person died. You can obsess on that stuff. Andreas Mahler did. He almost died. People assumed he was dead. And so instead of going back to his life, wherever you chose that he's from, he goes ahead and lives in the sewers and obsesses over all the things he could have made different. And instead, the game is saying that you can do that. That's wrong. You are going to destroy yourself in the process. What you should be doing is building something new on top of these old things that did happen. And yes, you need to recognize the past where it's relevant. You can say, hey, yes, this town is built on Roman ruins, and before that, it was built on pagan ruins. But we have something here now that we've built, and we need to keep growing on top of that. We can't obsess about the things that are buried underground. We could recognize them. We just can't ruin our own lives now to deal with that. And the way that these threads connect, and it hits in that moment when you realize Andreas Muller's alive and that he's been lost, and his mind palace that we went to at the beginning of the game, where you meet these you meet Socrates and you meet the fool and a few other characters that are these bright parts of his personality. They've all withered away. They've left his mind palace. It's empty except for his rage and his anger at himself, and that's the only character that's in there. And so, yes, it is beautiful, and it's so well done, and it's a game that knows what it is. And when it hits so hard, and it blew me away.
And you know what? It was edutaining. I feel
yes,
like
definitely,
this is the most shining example of edutainment that I've ever seen. And I don't know if like anyone can ever reach this bar again, because I came away from this game, like I paused this game multiple times when I was playing it with my partner, and we were just like, fuck. Do I care about history now? Because like we're just two art idiots that play video games a lot, and history was like one of my worst classes because I couldn't relate to it. All these characters are so fucking crazy relatable. They all talk normal. They don't like thee, thou, thy, you, or anything. It's so well written.
Yeah.
Don't die, anyone, everyone.
No, don't die. Don't the. But like, it was like, I was flabbergasted at how much I gave a shit about all this stuff. And it was just like shocking, and it all like culminated in Act 3 in a crazy fucking way. And I'm so sorry we spoiled the whole game for you. You should still play it.
Yeah, you'll still really enjoy it. But yes, I'm right there with you.
All right. Moving on. Using the manual to figure things out in Tunic. I didn't put this up.
I did.
Jess, do you want to?
And this was the game I bounced off of the hardest too. But I super respect what it's doing with these manual pages. I feel like, you know, the most common thing that I heard about from people that did love this game was holy shit, the manual pages is so cool. And yeah, you're kind of dropped into this little world. You're a little guy and you don't know what to do in the game. So you're gradually gathering the missing manual pages, which is in mostly a different language, which you can actually translate if you're smart. I figured out some of them through context clues. And it was kind of like a whole nother game in the game, was figuring out what the manual is telling you how to do stuff. It's like, oh, I know how to parry now because this one illustration was
I now know how to upgrade my skills now.
Yeah, like really basic stuff, but it's like, you know, oh, that's good to know. Thank you for telling me. But yeah, and the manual pages are absolutely gorgeous. They're so authentic. You can see, like, I think they actually printed this out and scanned it in.
Yeah.
You can see like how the ink like is on the page. There's tiny little notes that somebody made in the book. So you're like trying to figure out like, oh, what did they figure out that I'm not figuring out? So I think like the thing that makes this game as interesting as it is, despite me bouncing off of it, is like if it didn't have this manual, I don't think anyone would really give that much of a hoot about the game. But
it's very much crucial to the experience.
It is.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's I agree. I think like the feeling of discovery for me, the first aha moment was a similar sort of like parrying thing of like, oh my God, this is telling me to do something and I just didn't see it until I saw it. I think that was a really sort of incredibly satisfying aha moment of like, wow, there's another medium of storytelling going on here, and it's in this book that's like very cryptic and strange, and also like you said, used with like ballpoint pen ink scattered all over it. I love it. For me, that was really cool, and and also just like a totally wild departure from like what this game sort of is on its face.
Yeah.
And you'll get a page
sure.
like early on, and you'll see symbols or things that you don't know exactly what they mean. But then later on, you'll get a page, and it's like, oh wait, and you'll kind of cross-reference them and draw your own conclusions. And not to mention the fucking like Golden Path stuff, which like utilizes the entire manual,
whole
beginning to
thing.
end, which I don't know how many people were insane enough to do that whole deal, but like just the fact that they put that in was like really, really impressive.
Yeah, like I feel like Tunic, one of the thing that makes it really special is that it does have so many of these small realizations that kind of grow together to become big realizations later. And again, I didn't beat the game; I bounced off it, but like I could tell that's what it was doing, and that's why I was so despondent that I wasn't into what it was laying down. I'm really annoyed at myself, honestly, because I could tell this is a crazy cool thing to be doing.
You know what? I know we're not in the cutting phase just yet, but Dan, you bring up the Golden Path stuff, and there's a small detail when they're demonstrating how to kind of get through the Golden Path, and it was literally standing on the staircase. I was doing all the button inputs correctly. I looked up a guide, and I was like, dude, I'm doing the same things. I've come to the same conclusions. But I didn't realize our little dude was standing in a very specific place. And that's when it just kind of like, all right, okay. Everything is intentional here. This is every minute detail counts to this manual. And it's
on
fantastic.
The illustration?
On the illustration,
in a very specific, wow.
Yeah, like that's why I think, you know, again, it doesn't always happen the same way for everyone who plays that game. And this is probably a larger conversation about Tunic in general that maybe we'll get to on Wednesday. But I think like there's so much risk in the sort of like presentation of this game where it's like, man, it's possible you really just, you know, domino your way through all these wild aha moments where you're just like, how did they hide that from me in plain view this whole time? So sick. So unbelievably sick.
All right.
That consistently shocked me, how it was like, why didn't I realize this before? Like, it's right here. I could have done it at any point in time. That's wild that they hid them so well.
Okay. Just a couple more to get through, folks, and then we could get to the cutting phase. The first toot in Trombone Champ.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments of the year was when we decided to play Trombone Champ on Professional Fridays. I turned it on. I hadn't played it before. You all hadn't heard it before. And I did the very first toot in the game, and everyone just lost it. I lost it. Everyone was cracking up. It was like, okay, this is immediately perfectly comical. It has built-in comedic timing because the trombone just you could kind of like just drop a note whenever and it's going to sound silly and funny, and it really worked for me. But
it just
we don't have to say much else than that.
And I love the meta jokes, like Sephiroth here having a very long trombone to match his very long sword is incredible.
Yeah, this is a custom
like people
track,
have
so
people
FYI.
have really like run with it, and it's a game that keeps giving in a lot of ways.
All right, next nominee is Turning Into a Train in Bayonetta 3.
Yeah. Bayonetta does a bunch of weird shit in all the Bayonetta games, and so like most of the time playing 3, I was just like, yeah, that's a Bayonetta thing. Okay, yep, okay, I can control a Godzilla monster. Yep, okay, now I'm shooting.
I'm a spider. I'm a huge mechanical spider. Yay.
Yeah, exactly. And like that was kind of my experience with most of Bayonetta 3. I actually was kind of disappointed by the game.
Yeah.
But there was the point where it's like, oh, I can just straight up turn into a train, and you like lay down tracks, and then when you're done doing that, you watch the train do these like figure eights and go up in the air and pop balloons and all this crazy shit. And just the design of Bayonetta, like her body, her like torso sticking out the top of a train, looks really awesome. Yeah, I don't know. In a game that in a lot of ways just kind of felt like a little bit more of the same with Bayonetta, this felt like novel even for this weird ass series.
Fantastic. All right. 3 more here to go. The moment you unlock a solution in Case of the Golden Idol.
Yeah, so Case of a Golden Idol is very similar to Return of the Obra Dinn. These are static scenes set up with meticulous detail in the design because every detail matters. If you see that one guy has 2 bags of gold in his backpack and the other guy has 1 bag of gold and a golden idol in it, that's gonna matter. So when you go and you read the contract and it says, okay, you get 2/3 of all the gold we find, you get 1/3 in any golden statues we find, and it's like, okay, well his name's on this, and so when I need to go to the solution screen and I need to be inputting the name, which is how this works. It's like, so and so killed so and so by pushing him off a blank in this part of the map, and it's you're like, okay, well, how am I possibly going to figure this out? And the context clues begin intersecting in such a way where it's like narrative Sudoku, where you're just like, okay, if he's here, he's got to be this guy because of this and this. And that moment when it all comes together is incredibly satisfying. It's I just started playing this game in the last week. It's instantly shot up near the top of my list because of stuff like that. And it just does that over and over, and it gets more and more complicated and really raises the stakes over time. It's a very good game.
All right, moving on to Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy intro.
Yeah. It's just a great weird... Elden Ring is full of weird guys, okay? There's a lot of weird guys in Elden Ring, a lot of weird gals, a lot of weird monsters. This is a weird guy monster that is combined.
Love it.
Which when you come in, you get a gimmick weapon, and it feels incredible immediately. Like you're just laying waste to this weird snake man, and you think, okay, cool, it's just a snake boss. I've done plenty of snake bosses in FromSoft games, especially Bloodborne, but it's at the roughly halfway point. This boss feels easy up until this point.
Yes.
As roughly a halfway point, this happens.
There it is. I can't believe it. I scrolled to the right part. Hell yeah.
Nailed it. Describe it for the audio listeners.
So you see this snake lad, and then he's like lifts back up after being killed, and is like dangling. He's like lifeless, and then suddenly it like whips around, and there is a face on the guy, and his eyes open.
A gigantic,
a huge face,
massive old guy.
And it looks
face.
at you, and it's just like, what's going on? What? And
It's
he's
like
like
400 hands coming off of his back.
Yeah, and he
So
like
many
puts
hands.
his hand inside the snake's mouth and pulls out a huge sword, and that's pretty fucking awesome.
So
You're like,
cool.
oh,
Pretty
that's
metal.
where you know.
Oh.
This is the bit where you know, okay, this boss fight isn't as easy as I thought. But then the quote that comes along with it is iconic at this point. The delivery is phenomenal.
And
It's
also
just
the
like-
sword is so cool. It's got all
Yeah.
these like arms making it. Jesus.
Family.
God,
What a
it's fucked
gross
up.
man.
They're very good. It's just to
game is
join the
awesome.
Serpent King as family.
wanna play
It's
this
just
again.
such a good moment.
Yeah.
And then like the real boss fight kicks in. You still have that gimmick weapon, which feels amazing, but it becomes way harder because now he's got a sword, and it is still pretty easy, but it's a little trickier to like dodge him. But it's just a really cool moment that I think stands out in a game full of like amazing moments. This character moment where Rykard has given himself to like a strange being to try and outdo his demigod brothers and sisters. It's just awesome.
Fantastic. All right, last nominee, unless we have some last minute additions here. I put this here. It's Joran from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'll try and be really brief. Joran is one of your early party members that you see in flashbacks. He's kind of like a Neville Longbottom. He's like the runt of the group. And early in a flashback, you see that he dies. And then you're sad, like, oh no, you sacrificed your life for me. But it turns out the ultimate evil of the game resurrected Joran, and now he's a bad guy. And in that first fight where you meet Guernica Van Dam and you hear two voices in the mech, he's one of the voices because he's been brainwashed, and now Jordan was a sweet little lad, but now he's been traumatized by basically kind of the internet. And now he thinks you're evil.
He's been radicalized.
He's been radicalized and gaslit by the main villain of the of the game, and now he's evil, and he goes by Jay because that's what
This is
Joran
what happened
starts
to
with.
Joran?
This is what happens
the
to Joran,
fuck?
the sweet little lad.
That sweet little Bobby Hill motherfucker?
Yes, exactly. He does look like a Bobby Hill looking dude.
Oh my! See, he looks weird like this as well. Look at his little smile.
And then he gets into like a Lord Zed mech costume and wants to like murder his friends because he thinks the whole time they were being nice to him, they were actually just making fun of him, which is not the case. Which is never the case. Also, shouts out to Uni. But that's it. Okay, folks.
Let me just add this one real quick, and then we can immediately remove it so we can start the removal process. At the end of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Kirby ascends Kirby and becomes Truck Kirby by swallowing a truck and drives it up several buildings that are falling out of the sky and then rams it into the bad guy to beat the boss at the end of the game.
It is so fucking cool. I forgot.
And I've done it like 50 times because my kids want me to just keep playing it over and over, and it still rules every time I do it.
Hell yeah!
I'm adding that to the
game.
queue there.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
It's too fucking cool.
It rules. That game. It started out like pretty good, and it just keeps getting. It got so much better by the end. That's an impressive game.
It gets so anime at the end.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
I think a lot of people, discount Kirby games and don't realize how badass all Kirby games get at the end. Like you always like fight God at the end of Kirby.
I think
because Kirby is God.
I think that most people. This is going to sound a bit weird, but it's true. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is the real Bayonetta 3.
Oh
Yes.
damn!
It truly is.
You know
if
what?
You want
I agree.
If you want Bayonetta 3, play Kirby.
I agree.
Damn.
It's got a good dodge mechanic too.
When you were describing the
Which
truck
time
going
it
up
does,
the
yeah.
falling buildings, like that sounds like a Bayonetta or a Metal Gear Rising thing.
Here
It
we
does.
go.
It is.
Here's the truck thing. It is
Metal Gear
very
Rising
ass
Bayonetta.
shit. Yeah.
Yes.
He suck up the truck.
Mouthful mode on that
Trying to
bitch.
get a
Yeah.
tetanus
Oh my
shot.
god.
Yeah.
Wow, is this what?
Tetanus can't kill
Is this how
Kirby.
people feel when they see Optimus Prime doing cool shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, maybe I understand the Transformers now.
Was Optimus Prime just a guy that sucked on a truck?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's from
Is
Arizona.
that the lore?
Yep. Also loves guns and garlic.
Oh, okay.
Hey, bring it back.
All right. Okay, folks, we've gone through all of these nominees and this late edition of Truck B. Where do we start cutting?
Jeez.
I'm willing to take the Rykard stuff off.
I don't know, man. You
Wait,
like
I feel like I feel like
I thought you were joking.
No, I feel like we're gonna have to get rid of one Elden Ring thing.
Yeah, I agree.
We can't have 3 Elden Ring things or
Yeah,
2
it's not
Elden Ring
fair.
things.
We have two. We consolidated the couple, so I guess it's between the warp across the map. I mean,
I feel like the warp across the map is perhaps a better moment because you're actively
I'd agree.
participating in it.
Okay.
I do love the Rykard bit, but I'm willing to sacrifice it to make space for other things. Otherwise, it's 2 slots taken up.
I'm
Yeah,
also
and we can eliminate the first toot and trombone champ. It was a very good moment. It is going to be one of the things I remember, from first starting to work here. But
Best
we can
two. Best two.
definitely best
It's
toot of
best-
the year
best toot of
without
the
a
year.
doubt.
You know what?
it'll be category next year.
We can also go ahead and take out the Joran moment or sequence. It affected me a lot because I love the little dude, and then turned out to be a little bastard.
I'm going
As
to
with most
take out.
kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to take off the train Bayonetta 3 thing. That's probably my favorite thing in that game, but there's other better stuff here.
I would maybe argue to remove time lapse from Power Wash Sim because I
Yeah.
feel like the real joy in Power Wash Sim.
Here's the thing. I'm going to speed this up, okay? Freeing jellyfish, teleporting in Elden Ring, Pentiment Act 3.
I think that's probably right.
That's,
Oh,
Whoa,
shit.
damn, you got someplace to be? I mean, that's pretty good.
I just
He's a
listen. I
fish.
know.
I think he's right, though.
I know.
I think he's
quality
right
when I see it.
also.
I've got impeccable taste in the video.
wait.
games.
I don't know.
let's hear it,
Jan
Jan.
sold me on Guernica Van Damme.
I feel like we could cut freeing the jellyfish
I'd be fine with that.
and then sub in
And-
Guernica Van Dam.
And I'll back you up on
instead.
Guernica. That moment is, I didn't finish that game, but that was one of the most memorable moments in games for me this year.
let's cut other stuff first because
Okay,
there's
okay.
some strong arguments here.
I
I
really
love
like the hole.
the whole
Hole's
was a
fine.
good.
The hole.
The hole's good.
Hole is in play.
Yeah, but it's also the second best hole after the Elden Ring hole. I love the Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
That was very strong.
Hole.
But
I-
the
I
Elden
do
Ring
That's a
hole.
good. Yeah, it's a good hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
What
like-
about
yeah,
cutting the
I
neon
mean,
white thing?
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we can
Yeah, I think you can lose Neon White with the
we can
boss.
cut neon white. Neon white.
Fucking
guess.
neon shite. Get out of it.
Whoa! It's not the final
Somebody
day.
had to say it.
It's not the
Hey, I
final day.
really love that game.
Wow.
I, just want, I love that game, but I love puns more. So.
There we go.
That is
And
true.
how ugly is Horizon, right? God.
Yeah.
Right?
Damn.
It's not even on this category. All right.
Oh,
it is
only
now.
Jason's allowed to razz me.
I'm
on
sorry.
that.
You're right.
Gag me with a spoon.
Best moment. The best moment is realizing how bad that game is.
Oh my!
Horizon?
We're never gonna talk to them again.
Do we have this the most disappointing? Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about it later.
I love
DLC
Tunic.
looks good. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
DLC looks good.
I
Yeah.
love Tunic. I think we can take out the manual.
Strong
I agree.
four.
Yeah.
Strong four.
Strong 4 or 5 for
seriously, yeah. That was something that really stood out to me this year. But I can see it going. Yeah.
Rock Lee after he said Neon Shite. Check him out.
Wow. Dabbing.
Attaboy.
Good for him.
What about the case of the Golden Idol?
I will miss it very much.
I think you're the only person that played it. I meant to, and I haven't gotten around to it
it's
yet.
totally. I totally understand. I'm glad I got to even mention it. It's a game more people should play.
I've got it on my Steam Deck, and I promise you I'll play it.
Thanks. Yeah.
What's
Christmas
the
game.
temperature on the Vampire Survivors thing? I feel like I
Oh,
put it
it
on
does feel
there.
good,
I love
though.
that, but it's not specific. It's just kind of a
Sure.
general feel.
It's very similar to like feeling like a god when you beat a level in Neon White. I don't think any of those are
Exactly.
quite playing. I've felt more like a god in other games in the past, and even Vampire Survivors isn't quite that high.
I'd be fine cutting it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
then there were 6.
All right.
Between the Elden Ring ones, which do we feel is the strongest?
I think, I mean, Rykard was awesome, but I think the map opening up several times, getting transported across the map, realizing how big the map is, that sequence of moments is really what sets that game apart from just about everything else, period. Like, it is what makes it a Game of the Year contender.
Yeah.
I mean, there were probably like 50 amazing moments that really stuck with me in Elden Ring, and like that
Yeah.
might be number 1 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we comfortable cutting Rykard? Okay, it's cut.
It's cut.
Go on.
Join
Come
the
back.
family.
If people protest, we can bring it back.
Okay. Now, what we have left here, we have 5, which is freeing
I
the
think,
jellyfish.
I think we did say we could cut the hole, right? Or did I miss that we were keeping that for
Are
now?
we cutting the hole?
I like the hole.
I love
We
the
all,
hole,
like,
too.
we all like the hole.
We like the hole. The hole is nice.
We're all big into the hole.
I wish I was in the hole right now.
We're a pro hole podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, pro holes. Pro holes.
Wholesome.
Not so much Bibles, but we're still full of
Thank you, Jim.
holes.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah. Of course, of course. Okay, so let's cut the hole.
Cutting
Seal
the
it
hole.
shut.
Rip hole.
Cork it.
Oh, don't. Oh,
All right.
Well,
Ripping
depends
holes.
on the night you're having, but sure.
Okay. Now the knives might come out here.
I think, okay.
Yes,
just
Jess.
looking at like the scope of these different little guys, I've remained silent for most of this, except when I had to explain what the fuck I was talking about. But it's because I was messing with all the videos back there. But I feel like realizing the scope of the map in Elden Ring and the Act 3 spoilers of Pentiment, those are both huge revelations that like tie into this whole greater thing. It's huge. I feel like those two are shoo-ins for the top 3.
I feel that way
Other
too.
ones are
I
not
agree.
these big, whoa, holy shit moments in the same caliber as those two.
Well,
I thought the
added-
Ragnarok one was a very like a beautiful moment.
Sure. It was
It
a
was.
Which
a
one?
wow. A
The
big
jellyfish.
wow moment.
Yeah.
Jan's description of the Guernica moment, I feel, is more impactful than like yeah, I saw
Yeah.
the jellyfish. I was
stuck
like,
with
wow, that
him.
looks really cool. All right, yeah, but like Jan made a solid argument for the Xenoblade thing.
And,
Honestly,
Jan made me want to play Xenoblade.
You can only you just got to get through 10 hours. You'll meet Guernica Van Dam, and then you can
Yes.
yeah.
and he's awesome. And that moment was, I mean, it's all very anime, but it's all very well done, and it makes you, it propels you through the story. It's what made me want to stick with it for as long as I did. It's like, oh, these characters that we're fighting now, they've come together. It's very tropey, but they nail it to the point where it's like, well, I got to see what happens next. I got to see how these characters relate to one another. I got to see, like, now that they're fusing together into this giant mech thing, how does that grow? How does that change them? It sets up the whole story very well. And then, you know, having this cool character Guernica come along and immediately get ganked. It's a good setting off of the story.
I'll get into it in the future.
10 hours in, saying off story, yeah.
I'll get into it in the future, but man, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, oh man.
That's the Shulk game.
One of the Shulk games.
It's the Rind game,
Okay.
thank you,
Oh,
actually.
God,
Oh,
Peanut.
okay. I just know the amiibo.
Okay, are we comfortable cutting, freeing the jellyfish?
I think so.
Oh,
That's a meow straight into the mic. Jeez.
Uh,
Wow.
Well, that cat
Oh,
hates
kitty.
jellyfish.
Yeah. All right.
All
All right,
right.
Cat. We'll get rid of it.
Okay,
What he's not
So-
happy with that.
here we are at our top 3 here of best moment or sequence. Meeting Guernica Van Dam and Ouroboros for the first time, realizing the scope of the map, and Act 3 of Pentiment.
Wow.
I'm happy that Guernica made it here. He didn't make it that far in the actual game. I'm cool with him being a solid bottom 3. A solid bottom.
Solid.
Guernica
I
is
think
a
you're
solid
pumped
bottom.
about the
Solid
bottom.
big holes.
I can't really speak to Pentiment because I I had to mute you guys while you were talking about it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself.
Oh wow!
See, my
that's
vote
how
would go
fucking
for...
weird I am. What's that?
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's fair. My vote would go to Pentiment for this bit then.
Mine too. I think it's okay. Elden Ring can easily win any of these categories, and I think if it does win this, I'm not going to be upset. But it's Pentiment is a whole game coming to a culmination and nailing it, and understanding its themes and nailing it, and just it being so powerful. I think we should probably give it to Pentiment.
Okay.
You know, what do you think?
I won't argue that. It's probably just personally, I'm way on the side of Elden Ring just because Pentiment extremely doesn't sound like my type of game. But,
Yeah.
I mean, the way you
You
describe
didn't play it
and
at all,
everything,
right?
Oh, no. It sounds, I can tell by the way you guys talk about it that it's obviously doing something really cool. So, and it almost like sounded like it's like making good on some of the like claims like Molyneux would talk about with Fable, where it's like, oh, you do this thing as a kid and then you grow up and people fashion your hair after, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
it's because it knows what Molyneux was doing wrong and has something to say about it, while also something to say about history, and it's just so multifaceted.
And you know what's really cool about it? It doesn't tell you it's going to do that.
No.
You know, like
really
I think the strongest games that are like, wow, your choices matter in this, they don't tell you that at the start, so that you're not going into it being like, oh, I should min-max this. Am I making the right decision for later? Like, you're actually genuinely playing the game because it hasn't front-loaded, like, oh, look out, your choices matter. Whoa.
Yeah, you know, and also shouts out to Pentiment because it got me to read this year.
Reading.
Turns out reading's good. Reading's cool.
Fundamental.
No.
I started playing Citizen Sleeper. It's a lot of reading. I'm sticking with it.
Sorry,
Oh,
fucking air
doing it.
juggles. Those are fucking cool.
Jason, I'm with you, Jason. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds
Strong
like
argument.
it sounds like it is slightly ever so weighted closer.
I think it's the right.
Pentiment.
I think it's the right
It's
answer.
Pentiment.
I think it's right.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, but I think
Damn,
you're
say
wrong.
that again.
I think
it's Elden Ring.
I think Elden Ring has future opportunities to shine.
I'm unaccepting of this.
Well, I mean, if we want to compromise here and we just put meeting Guernica Van Dam and
That's
Ouroboros
true.
for the
There
first
you go.
time
Yeah.
as a top here, the lesser of the three evils here.
No, that Pentiment moment is pretty incredible.
Oh, okay.
Am I
all right.
bolding?
I think we're bolding. Let's
Go
bold
on,
it.
then.
Bolded.
Boom.
Bold it.
Damn.
Boom.
Spin it.
Boom, bolded.
Oh yeah.
And that
Signed, sealed.
Good shit.
delivered. We're yours. And folks, that does it for day
Well done.
one of
Ooh,
Giant
yeah.
Bomb's
did
Game
some good
of
work
the
here today.
Year.
Yeah.
We done did it, folks. We done did it. We got through 5 categories. I don't think anyone is harboring any negative feelings yet. And then, hey, we got through these 5. Tomorrow, we will get through another 5 categories. And then on Wednesday of this week, we will get to the top 10 games of the year. And this time, folks, there's a little bit of an interactive component where maybe the audience at home can sway,
Influence.
can influence,
Oh,
can sway
get
the vote,
involved.
can swing the vote. Perhaps you can get involved in a way that has actually never happened in the
It's
top
only
10.
doable in the metaverse.
It is
It's
only
true.
doable.
It's true.
And that's why we had to pivot. And that's why we had to pivot, folks. That's why we're having a Pivot Palooza for the rest of this week until Wednesday. Quick recap of the categories. One last time. Soulja Boy presents Best Game of the Year for people who drink beer, get drunk, smoke weed, and get high. Power Wash Simulator wins that. Neon White winning the Best Video Game to Stream. Best Game you bounced off of goes to Sifu. Best Vampire Survivor's Weapon goes to Garlic. And Best Moment or Sequence goes to Act 3 of Pentiment. Folks, thank you so much for joining us for day 1 of Game of the Year. If you missed, stop taking pictures, Grub. If you missed any of the deliberations,
You can hear that? My bad.
these will they'll be available soon, short after, in audio form, YouTube form, archive form. And until tomorrow, everyone, we will catch you for another thrilling day of deliberations. We'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Dr. Kawashima can't dab, so I'm doing it for him.